喺2020年嘅冬至嘅晚上同大家見面，咁啊一年咧行到而家咧過咗冬至，仲有幾日就聖誕節，咁啊跟住就仲有10日就過年啦。2020年唔容易過，不過咧都馬上要過完啦，咁就踏入2021年。對今年有咩諗啊，Victor？
不如講咗上次你要我做啲善事，right？咁我就捐咗100蚊俾 VGH 嚇，咁就當我點講好咧？如果我講係今年做嘅善事，好似太少。
咁唔係嘅，因為你今年 I'm sure 唔係淨係做過一次
That's
善事
right，that's
嘅，
right。當係你上次叫唔叫 challenge？不過 anyways 捐咗100蚊，因為你上個星期 inspire 咗我咁樣。
咁我自己呢，我就做善事啦，我就唔中意一個人做嘅，我中意拉人落水嘅。咁所以呢，我就喺自己翻工嗰度呢，喺 workplace 呢，就 start 咗個 food drive。
Oh no way！
咁啊，今日呢，就終於都送咗去啦，就幫 Richmond Food Bank。咁因為就即係雖然你可以捐錢，但係我會覺得，尤其是好似 food bank，即係食物銀行呢類咁嘅地方呢，就我會覺得係個感覺好啲嘅，即係你真真正正自己走去超級市場買咗嘢，and knowing that 你買嘅嘢，你做嘅一切係 it puts food on someone's table。呢個係覺得幾即係自己自我感覺都幾良好嘅。咁樣今日就送咗2箱嘅食物去 Richmond 個食物銀行嗰度，咁就叫做對自己有翻個交代啦。因為呢樣嘢真係好想喺年尾之前呢，有啲做翻啲比較上係令到有意義啲嘅嘢啦，叫做係。
咁即係點啊？你公司啲人都係一齊？
係啦，我擺咗2個箱喺公司，跟住 send 咗個 email 俾所有同事，saying that that's what I'm going to do。咁自己擺咗自己做咗嘅嘢落去，咁啲同事都好幫手，咁就大家都有 contribution。咁跟住今日就揾架車咁車晒去food bank 嗰度。
你 physically 見到捐緊啲咩嘢 right？I'm pretty sure that's pretty。
咁唔係佢有 guideline 嘅。food bank 係有 guideline 嘅，即係 firstly is non-perishables 啦，一定你唔可以話買 yogurt 嗰啲幾日之後就會壞嗰啲啦。咁即係佢會話俾你知，多數都係 nourishing 食得飽，又唔會擺得耐，so it's canned soups、canned pasta、and canned meats 嗰啲咁嘅嘢。and 咁佢哋好大隻字嘅 ，soda is not a food，and nor is energy drinks。
我就同你 pre similar。我同屋企人講完之後，咁我姨媽又捐咗啦，佢又係捐咗俾 VGH， 又係捐咗俾 Richmond Hospital。So it really it's contagious。
係㗎，會㗎，真係。
因為同人講，喂，年尾咯喎，20年咁要做啲嘢，咁你同人哋講，我自己都做咗，it makes them feel like maybe I should too。
同埋有樣嘢好奇怪喎，因為咧往年咧就一到年尾一大約12月，甚至乎11月尾咧，就好多嘅 charity 咧都會做好多 mail out。即係因為我而家住呢個地址咧就我爹哋佢未入老人院之前佢都喺度住啦。咁就我爹哋就亦都係一個幾有心嘅人。咁所以佢唔會好，即係佢唔係好多錢啦，但係即係100幾十蚊啊、幾十蚊啊咁樣，即係種種唔同嘅 diabetes liver disease 咁樣 heart disease。但係今年係冇晒嘅喎，I got nothing in the mail。唔知點解，真係即係個 charity 自己可能佢嘅 advertising 或者佢嘅種種嘅 budget 冇乜啊，定係佢轉晒做they do it over the internet through emails。平時係有 physically，因為我爹哋亦都唔會上網啦，咁係 physically 係寄信嚟㗎。And they give you calendars and stuff and entice you to give them money。但係今年係乜嘢都冇喎，好奇怪喎，唔知點解。
It's a speculation，但係會唔會係因為佢覺得可能大家都
could be，即係呢個係個 speculation，我都覺得會係因為覺得大家嘅經濟條件今年都差晒咁樣，就所以佢哋亦都冇咁樣做。
On the other hand，VGH Richmond Hospital 係 it makes it so easy for you to donate。即係唔使話撳完呢個 page 又去另一個 page，it's just one page。 your information, credit card information, that's it, and then you get your receipt。好
OK，
簡單啊。
So you all heard it from him，即係嗱，同埋咁講真，好食嘅嘢唔一定要聖誕節先做嘅，過咗年都可以做。Now you know that it's really quite simple。即係如果係即係對 Richmond 對溫哥嘅話，and I'm almost certain 即係其他地方嘅 hospital 相信亦都會係值得大家去關心嘅，即係你 Coquitlam 啊、Burnaby 啊，即係其他地區嘅。
呢兩間係 Coastal Health 嘅，咁 I think 佢哋係 under 同一個嚟website 嘅 umbrella。所以兩個都係做法一模一樣，好簡單。係，and then you can choose like 你想捐俾邊一個部門係 urgent needs 定係 heart and lungs 定係咩咁樣。so yeah。係。
That's good. Anyway，咁就即係大家都係繼續呢個咁有心嘅舉動啦。希望大家可以將呢個精神延續落去。
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that, certainly.
咁講下呢個星期發生咗啲
咩？好啊，咁
你有冇睇到啲咩？
呢個星期咁就OK，咁真係撇開好多，即係好多嘢真係講咗年幾兩年啦，就再講落去 ，like beating a dead horse。雖然即係而家仲有好多人，仲有12個人係俾人擺咗唔知喺邊度，仲有好多其他嘅嘢，仲有好多人喺香港喺其他地方係失去咗自由。咁暫時唔講住，咁講翻呢個星期。咁我哋講人話，講啲唔講人話嘅人嘅事先啦。咁當然大家知道。
That's more entertaining。
一講呢個就係即係林鄭月娥特首啦。咁就 going back to 1月份嗰陣時，咁大家都知道呢個what's commonly known as COVID，中文就新冠病毒19，就大家嘅一個概念就係來自或者佢嘅爆發力最強大嘅地方就係中國湖北省武漢市。咁亦都因為咁，大家就叫咗做武漢肺炎。咁就而香港政府以林鄭特首為首嘅呢，就已經好快脆咁出嚟澄清或者出嚟呼籲，就話我哋唔可以咁樣叫佢嘅，唔好用一個地方名嚟污名化咗呢個中國嘅一個地方。
呢個係 recent 嘅定係
？OK，呢個係最錯，when we first had the outbreak。依
家從頭講。
OK，係啦，咁冇錯就係咁啦。咁就呢個係佢當年已經咁講，即係當日已經咁講啦。咁你知道最近呢2-3日呢，就呢個 virus 喺英國呢就開始有個 mutation，就有個新嘅 strain 出現咗。咁但係呢，原來呢，林鄭月娥特首呢，佢就係都幾乜嘢嘅，都幾有口話人冇口話自己嘅，因為呢，而家呢個新嘅 strain 呢，就係英國變種。
OK。
係啦，即係你唔可以叫武漢肺炎，即係佢而家呢就話乜嘢？即係甚至無係已經，因為仲有一啲嘅好似蘋果日報嘅記者呢，就喺每一次嘅記者會上面呢，都會有即係提到呢個病毒嗰陣都仲係用因為蘋果日報嘅報導都仲係用緊武漢肺炎嘅。
真係㗎。
係啊，咁呢就政府新聞處或者甚至無林鄭月娥自己呢，都有叫人哋唔好咁樣做。但係講翻呢2-3日嘅 strain 嗰陣時呢，就新呢一個呢，就係英國變種病毒。
That's fucking bullshit。
咁
知唔知道大陸係咪都係咁樣叫嘅？
未知，因為好新啦，即係2-3日啦，咁未有太多嘅資料出嚟。但係因為香港嘅 reaction 就好快，點解呢？因為香港唔同啲呢，就係香港好多
留學生。係
啦，好多小朋友喺度讀緊書。咁而家聖誕節，咁就好多嘅好多嘅小朋友聖誕節會翻嚟，再加上好多 parents 亦都會擔心如果呢個 strain 再有一個較大型嘅 community outbreak 嘅時候，點算呢？小朋友咁想佢哋多啲翻嚟，咁變咗亦都因為咁咧，政府就多咗好多新嘅policy去 combat 佢哋，即係啲人翻嚟，好似而家就已經唔準 英國嘅航班到香港啦，即係喺倫敦直飛香港嘅就唔會as of now 我諗已經冇咗㗎啦，好似最後一班係大約10幾個鐘頭前起飛咗之後就唔會再有㗎啦，短期內。咁就睇下件事點 develop。咁所以喺即係喺英國嘅 outbreak 咧就會影響香港人都幾緊要下。
Well, kind of on that note，知唔知 Ontario 有一間中餐香港人開嘅，叫做 Pepper Walk，我唔知有中文叫咩啊。咁佢出面有個 sign 就寫住因為武漢肺炎，唔該大家入嚟嘅時候戴口罩咁樣。咁之後 obviously 佢就喺網上俾好多俾好多大陸人攻擊啦，即係話佢歧視中國人點樣咁樣。但係 it happened like within a week，一個星期內嘅，like they're still using 武漢肺炎，so good job to them。
Let's call a spade a spade，真係。
因為有兩班，即係一班人就即係 obviously 好衰，大陸人 send 好多除咗 bad review，就 send death threat 俾佢哋，即係騷擾佢哋喺完全。但係有一班支持佢哋嘅就 post 好多 good review 咁樣。So I tried putting a good review，但係 I don't know，我係用 Yelp 啦，Yelp，right？ 咁佢哋就block 咗所有 comment 嘅。It said something like 因為 the recent news or politicize something 嘅嘢啦，好多人擺 comment，咁所以 Yelp 就 block 咗所有 comment 咁樣。So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. But anyways， 我係想講 like good job to them， right？
呢個值得乜嘢？值得我哋真係提一提嘅。
因為其實真唔係 we talked about this before， 唔係discrimination。
係咯，唔
係。你病毒喺嗰度 originate 嘅，咁咪叫翻佢做呢個地方嘅名嘅病毒咯 ，like MERS，Middle Eastern Respiratory Disease or something，right？Middle East，right？ 仲有咩啊
？Well, going way back 100年前 ，Spanish flu。Spanish
flu，it's not called like well I don't know. I think I heard some it was Bill Meyer. Bill Meyer， 個 what is he like comedian?
Yes.
Yeah, comedian.
He
has佢有一個 TV program whatever。咁佢有一個 episode 講呢樣嘢嘅，叫做it's about COVID， 即係個名啊。Like his point was that 點解咁多人 feel 咁 offense by calling it Chinese no not Chinese virus，something along those lines 因為其實 going back like there were so many viruses 都係 named after 嗰個地方，即係 like where it originated from。Right so
well nowadays we have to be so politically correct like we can't 因為當時 WHO 已經講明 you can't name it in relation to a place you can't name it in relation to an animal so calling it swine flu or whatever is still no good.
Really?
Yeah, you're stigmatizing the pigs.
咁以後有一個 bird flu 咁點啊？幾年都有一次㗎啦。
I think they call it avian flu. Okay, like
avian is bird.
Yeah, it is bird still. But 佢已經講到明，即係 when this outbreak first happened, you were not supposed to associate it with animals, nor names of places.
Okay. 之後我仲想講一樣嘢，我見到前幾日Mike Pence 佢打個 vaccine, right?
Yep.
And then the general surgeon also took it. General surgeon, I guess 係 one of the military.
Yeah.
係咪 military 嘅？
No. You're talking about I think who you're talking about is the Surgeon General.
Yeah.
Surgeon General is the number one health person in the U.S.
Okay.
It's like when you buy a pack of smokes, it says the Surgeon General warns you that smoking creates cancer.
OK， 咁佢都打咗個 vaccine 啦。咁之後佢有一個 I saw this on BBC， 咁佢就make 咗一個 comment 啦，就話so many powerful female medical advisors did a lot of research on this, right? You should have confidence in it. Like why are you focusing on the female researchers? Like I'm not against females, but it's a whole team that developed the vaccine, right?
Yeah.
咁點解淨係要I don't know congratulate 定係like praise
Yeah.
female 嗰班咧？Right? I think it's ridiculous when you he also said to the colored female researchers or whatever. 咁我覺得其實真係冇必要。Like if you're up for the job, right? If you're qualified to do it,
Yep.
then you'll get the job, right?
係咯，即係你係做到嘢嘅，doesn't matter whether you are your hereditary dates all the way back to whichever continent, like whether it's an African American, a Latino, an
or your
Asian,
or your gender,
yeah,
right?
or your gender. The next thing is like that it should have absolutely no bearing on this.
首先，我覺得佢哋即係 make 呢個 team 嘅時候，team of researchers, they all are competent people who are knowledgeable, who are experts at making this vaccine. Why are they singling out the colored female like researchers and praising them, right? 即係仲有 Biden 嗰個 cabinet, right? Or some team that he's forming, 佢又係話咩form 一個 all female 嘅 high rank 嘅 government position 咁樣 right? So like why does it have to be female? Why can't it be someone who's competent? Just someone, just not male or female.
真係我覺得咁樣係，即係除非你係 someone who is in some people's eyes underprivileged, and then they achieve something, yes, that's commendable. But no, do I believe that the female gender is underprivileged? No, I really don't.
No, not at all.
Or some people are underprivileged because of a skin color. I don't think that's being underprivileged. Let's say if 100-pound person, if someone who weighs 100 pounds, 110 pounds, he lifts as much weight as someone who is 200 pounds, then yes, that is commendable because he outperformed his own weight class.
Yeah.
That's an achievement.
Or like in boxing, do you know about like Kenshin, 一個日本嘅 boxer, 佢 challenge Floyd Mayweather. 咁之後日本呢個 like 幾年前嘅事嚟嘅，咁日本係好中意呢啲 like out 即係完全 mismatch 嘅 boxing, right? 佢好中意睇一個好 lightweight against 一個好 big weight 嘅。If he obviously lost, like I don't think Mayweather even trained for that fight. But anyways, 如果佢贏咗嘅話 amazing, like everything will be on his back, like praising him and stuff. If Kenshin won, right? 因為佢係一個好瘦嘅 like he weighs something like 30 pounds less than Floyd Mayweather.
Exactly, 係咯。
如果佢贏咗嘅話 that's amazing, right? But if it's 點講咧？ I was going to say 如果一個女人same weight, same height as 另外一個男人佢哋打嘅話，個女人贏咗 I think I would give praise to her too, because it's not about like a woman beating a man, it's about she was born with less muscle.
Yes, the bone structure maybe and the body how the body mass is distributed, and everything. Yes, that's commendable too. 但係問題it all boils down to 你如果大家都係 it's a level playing field. You are both offered the same you're both offered the same opportunities. And 一方面係做得好啲I don't think it's gender has any part to play in this.
So 我覺得啲 female 啦 let's just say 佢哋覺得佢哋係從一個 lower playing field 開始 compared to male. 即係 male 有好多 advantage going into these STEM fields, right? But 我覺得啦就係 it has to do with what we're interested in. Like 男人 in general, we're more into like building things, taking things apart, putting them back together, doing math. 好少女人 is interested in that, I think, right? That's why majority of men go into those STEM fields, and you see more female going into nursing, for example, or like healthcare, for example, right? I think.
Well, okay, look at it this way. I have three offspring, three daughters, and since when they were young, I always tell them you have as much opportunity to
Definitely.
success as anybody else in your class.
即係咁樣比喻啱唔啱啦？你有一個仔同埋你有一個女嘅話，你 like they start at the same household, they have the same education. I'm
Yep.
guessing. The only thing that might be different is in the workplace if they get treated differently. I don't know. Do they though?
Definitely not in 2020, maybe in 1960s.
In
Yes.
most cases, 女人係多啲privilege than males in like general in school, in universities, in the workplace, right? I think.
I wouldn't go as much go as far as to say
But
they
we
are
have
more
similar.
privileged, but I would say they are. Everybody should start on a level playing field. Like I don't think gender or race is something that would limit someone's chances to achieve anything.
咁所以個general surgeon 咁樣講嘅時候，like he specifically 讚嗰啲 coloured female researchers，我覺得 like there are less female in this field because less female are interested in this field. I think that. I don't know about the colored part, but
I don't. Firstly, I don't think it's the ability. 我唔係話，即係我唔完全唔覺得佢哋係 they start life with a disadvantage。佢哋嘅能力即係會比其他人差啲或者好啲 for that matter。我唯一會覺得咧就係 maybe the only thing that I can see that I can draw from this is had it been 20, 30 years ago，佢哋嘅 achievement，就算佢哋做到同樣嘅嘢，幾時都好，我會覺得真係女人同男人大家都可以做到同樣嘅嘢嘅，即係 other than physical task，right？
但係因為之前
但係因為之前咧就係佢哋做得好，冇人理佢，或者冇人去 acknowledge 佢 trivialize 咗佢嘅成就，佢嘅 achievement。rather than 話佢哋係 started this， 即係佢哋唔係話佢哋而家做到呢啲嘢係特別叻，而係我發覺叻嘅係我哋個 society，我哋會 recognize，即係女人同男人一樣嘅成就，而唔係因為好似I don't know if you I watched a movie once because I've been a math geek, right? And it's about a bunch of mathematicians doing exactly that. African American mathematicians that participated in a lot of the calculations for the Apollo space program with NASA.
Okay.
And they were actually ignored. Everything that they did, like they did Apollo 12, Apollo 13, during those times they were very because of their
color.
Because of at that time I would say yes, it's a pretty good chance that could they go their achievements were being looked past or someone just grabbed that glory for themselves. 嗰陣時會係，但係而家我唔會覺得係。So I think who should be congratulated is that now we can recognize anybody's achievement for what they are, but not for who they are.
係啊，係另外一個平台俾 the general surgeon 去kind of say 佢有幾like
係咯，
幾 support diversity.
Yeah, but then again, yes, I think everybody who did those things should get the accolades.
Yeah.
And nobody should be ignored.
Yeah.
Nor singled out.
Yeah.
You cannot single out a particular set of people because of who they are to say that they did a good job and somebody else had done the same job.
我覺得如果佢真係想俾 like colored female 嘅 individual or like this group of people 多啲 chances 嘅話 he should just resign and appoint someone who's colored and female into his job. That's what I really forgot that company. I don't have my phone with me because it's over there, but 係咪 Reddit 咧？ Reddit's owner, do you know Reddit?
I know Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit's
I don't know much about Reddit, but I know Reddit.
Don't remember if it's Reddit， 但係個 owner 就give up 咗佢嘅 job as CEO and appointed a black person into his role. Like that's great. That's amazing.
Great.
You're actually doing something to show you care.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of 係咁喺度講we want to thank especially to the colored female people who helped research.
係咯，即係如果你咁話，Are you being fair to the non-African American?
What about the Asians?
Non-female?
Yeah. What about
the Asians? And then what about the Roman Catholics? And then what about the Middle Easterns or the Native Americans?
Yeah, exactly. So 係因為成個有呢個 movement, right? BLM. That's why we're so focused on it. But we're just covering the surface level. We're trying to make them feel better, or they are trying to make BLM feel better, right? But it doesn't actually do anything. Like 你上台 you're the general surgeon. 你講幾句嘢 praising colored female people. Does that actually help? Will it help like the actual colored female people living in like terrible conditions? Will it help them get better education or whatever? I'm sure I don't know. Maybe behind the scenes 佢係有 donate 好多錢或者去一啲charity 嘅 event 去幫手 I don't know, or like build something for the community. I don't know. But why do you have to do it on camera? 好樣衰我覺得。
我覺得好肉麻咯，係即係好，yeah, it's something that it doesn't have to be done like.
And 我同你 as Asian 都覺得好like.
Yeah, I know it made me cringe. Yeah, it totally made me cringe.
I think it might make the group that he's talking about even more cringy.
Yep.
Like, why are you talking on our behalf? Right? I'd think that.
係咯，即係 I rather 佢 OK，你想俾人知道你呢個 group 係好 diversified 嘅，有 people from both genders，有 people from different races，then just broadcast their names and their background and let the public make their own choice.
While you're at it, please broadcast everyone else.
就係咯，即係所有成個 group 嘅人咯。你 don't just single these ladies out, but broadcast like who is involved with this, the major players in this whole thing, and just say these are the people, so that I don't know if there's an Asian there, it might inspire an Asian youngster.
Yeah.
If there's an African American in there, it might inspire an African American.
Yeah.
So everybody gets the equal chance to be inspired by people they can relate to.
Yeah. 你有冇其他 topic 想講 or like should we keep on going on this one? Because I have more to talk about.
Let's go on. Let's just go on.
Because I was thinking, 譬如如果真係要 name 晒所有人嘅話 it will be like a movie credit. Like no one watches the movie credit unless it's Marvel. You know there's something after the credits, right? So I don't know. Like 呢成個 movement, it's kind of.
It is 係好乜嘢，我都覺得係有少少，即係 political correctness 係已經係 we are going the other way， 即係真係已經係 overcorrect 咗得好緊要㗎啦。
Well, kind of on the same topic 啦。I wanted to talk about Bernie Sanders， like 佢嘅 ideology， 佢想點樣 bring free healthcare， free education。Before I go into that， 你知唔知道原來喺美國，如果你有一個 student debt 嘅話 ，even when you're retired and you're 60 something, 70 something, you still have to pay for that debt every month for your student debt for when you went to school 50 years ago.
Yep.
Right? That's insane. So Bernie Sanders 其中一樣嘢想 bring to America 嘅就係、是、如果佢被選總統嘅話，就係、是、get rid of student debt. I think that was one of the things, but definitely 佢係想 bring free education. Not eliminate private schools, 但係俾人多啲選擇，like kind of like middle school, high school here. It's free, right?
但係美國唔係 free 嘅，high school 都係 free 嘅啫，應該。
I'm talking about universities.
Oh, okay.
Right, for universities. Because佢嘅 idea 係佢想more people be accessible to free education. Right? It will do the whole country good. Right?
Yep.
咁好多人就覺得that's way too socialist. And even in the Democratic Party, 佢覺得太 extreme 啦。Like we don't need any of those ideology. 佢哋淨係想要一啲少啲付出嘅嘢，譬如 support BLM, support feminism, support the LGBTQ, right? LGBTQ2 whatever 好 Q 長而家。Anyways， 我想 bring up 嘅嘢，which is kind of related to what we were talking about， 就係即係啲人上鏡，啲 political figure 上鏡講呢啲 topic 嘅時候，其實they're not really trying to help the conflict. They're just trying to appease to the population. 因為佢哋有啲 backer, usually big corporations, right? I would think 佢哋有好多 donation 係 from big corporation。Big Corp 如果 Democratic Party 唔輸嘅話，咁佢哋嘅損失I don't know where it be。但係如果 Trump 贏嘅話 ，for example， 咁 Trump 係經常會講一啲好人哋唔 expect 嘅嘢，right? I think he criticized like for example he criticized George Bush or his brother or his dad for going to the Iraq war, right? That really hurts all the industries that are making weapons for other countries, right? So the big corporation 唔係幾想有一個咁樣嘅 leader. They don't want Bernie Sanders either. They want someone who would just appease to the general population, right? In the most cost-effective way. 你要我哋 support BLM 嘅話 okay, Big Corp will just post a picture of a black Instagram box, right? A square, a black square, right?
Yep.
How hard is that? It has zero cost. You know what I mean? Like 冇付出㗎嘛。
Yep.
So
I think in politics 同做生意一樣咧，做生意我哋成日講就係ROI return on investment or ROF return on operating funds.
Yeah.
You want to get the most votes and spend the least, whether it's spending in money, whether it's spending in effort, whether it's spent on pissing off other people. So they want the most effective way to garner yourself a lot of votes.
Yeah.
Basically, that's I think that's the whole thing.
梗係啦。So I think that's why they were rooting for Joe Biden instead of Trump or Bernie Sanders. Regardless of Bernie Sanders 講嘢有幾 reasonable, 有幾好多 if you're bringing free healthcare, what would that do to big pharma? Right? 佢哋賺咁多錢賣doing like medical procedures or 賣藥 right? 幾多加拿大人每年去美國做surgery？因為加拿大 well we have private healthcare as well, but I think the states have better, right? So 如果美國 open up like free healthcare 嘅話 like big pharma 會輸好多錢。So they turn Bernie Sanders into this really socialist, Marxist kind of guy when he's actually really not. Right?
Well, at worst, Bernie Sanders is an idealist. He wants an ideal world where you don't have to worry about your student loans.
And that's amazing.
And everybody has a has a chance of a good education at a very, very minimal cost and free healthcare. And in a way that is not a bad thing.
好似加拿大咁樣 we have private insurers and we have public free healthcare. Right?
Yep.
It could coexist.
Yep.
Right? It's not mutual. It's not one or the other.
Yep.
可以兩樣都有㗎嘛。
係啊。
But but 因為有人會輸好多錢 ，so 如果佢哋選咗 Bernie Sanders 嘅話，佢哋會輸好多錢 ，so they pick the most cost-effective alternative, which is Joe Biden, I guess. All you have to do is, support BLM. All you have to do is what Kamala Harris did.
Yeah.
She put her pronoun in her Twitter biography. 即係 Kamala Harris, she's a woman, right? She put in her Twitter biography. 佢係一個佢叫人哋adjust 佢做一個 she her. Like for a lot of people, 我哋嘅 audience they might not get it at all. They might have never heard of it. But that's what's kind of going on in the States. So I kind of wanted to bring that up as well. Right?
Yeah.
So she, her, what it means, right? It's just 如果你係 transsexual or you're not male or female, you identify as something else, then it's kind of rude for others to address you as a he when you're not. 咁所以令到個confrontation 唔會咁 awkward，咁你就可以同人哋講你嘅preferred pronoun 係咩？pronoun which is like he.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he, she, they. Right? Some people want to be addressed as they, them.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. 即係呢個I've known a few people who actually posted that they wish to be addressed as they.
你識得嘅人
Yeah, 唔係我識得嘅人 but people that I've read about.
Definitely. Actors, most of them.
Actors, most of them,
Hollywood,
yes.
most of them. Right?
And 即係我會覺得你咁樣做嘅話 there's got to be an agenda somewhere.
Either 如果你係 politician 嘅話 you want more power.
Yeah.
I think.
At least 第一you want more popularity.
Yeah.
And you want to portray yourself as this person that
Yeah.
you want people to see you as.
Yeah. If you're an actor, 如果你係演員嘅話 you want more popularity. Do you know the actress Ellen Page? Do you know her?
Yeah, I know of her, of course. Yeah.
我識得佢係佢拍 Inception 同 Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yep.
Right? She was okay in that. She's pretty good. Recently, I think a month ago, maybe not even, 佢轉咗佢嘅 gender. He's a male now.
Oh, okay.
Did you catch that? I called him a he.
Yeah.
That's what the media did. Right? Frontline 就係寫Ellen Page addresses himself as a he, him. He now identifies himself as Elliot Page. 佢改咗佢嘅名叫做 Elliot Page.
Yep.
But it was so confusing because like Ellen Page, wait, he, him, I couldn't like 我腦冇轉得咁快啊 right? Like you should like at least I think in the front page you should 容易啲俾人消化。Ellen Page 本來係一個女仔，佢依家想 identify 自己做一個男仔，佢改咗佢嘅名叫做 Elliot Page. No, they just straight up Ellen Page addresses himself. It was so confusing, right? Especially since 佢係一個比較I guess 出名啲嘅 actor. I'm calling him an actor now instead of actress in the LGBTQ population, I guess. But anyways, yeah, that was kind of crazy.
而家係好多呢啲。Speaking of which，有樣嘢我自己暫時咧 I can't，我 I don't know how to react to this。我想講嘅咧就喺香港咧，咁香港而家呢一張英文報紙嘅啫，就係 South China Morning Post， 即係中文叫南華早報。咁咧佢就因為我就唔睇嘅，即係我呢度當然買唔到啦，我亦都 I don't even go to the web page，I don't subscribe to it。但我最近咧就喺蘋果日報睇到。咁南華早報咧有個 editorial 嘅 executive，like either the editor or someone who is involved with the newspaper。佢最近咧就有個 sex change from a he to a she。
Okay.
And 咁咧佢就 and 佢喺報紙上邊嗰個即係 contact us who we are 即係嗰類啦，即係喺個報紙個 web page 咧，都連張相都轉埋嘅。咁 you know it's the same person, it's just the attire is different。
佢有冇做咩 surgery 定係點啊
I'm sure I believe I have no idea 有冇。
Before we get into that，係咪應該俾一個 disclaimer？We're not against like
We're not
transsexual
against
whatever。
I mean I have family who are transgender，完全冇。It's nothing to do with that。
I just think it's ridiculous。佢哋點解要 make such a big deal of it？ Like do you see me talking about hey I'm a male whatever right？ I'm cisgender right？ I don't talk about that right？ If you want to be transgender just be it。
Yeah。
I don't care。
咁咧，唔係我翻嚟唔係今次我唔係到嗰個人，咁咧佢就佢改咗嘅，即係佢自己公司個 web page 咧係改咗佢張相改咗，個名都改咗嘅。
OK。
即係一個比較上
中文名
英文名係一個女性化啲嘅名嘅。OK。No, what I want to bring up is， 但係咧就係，but obviously I don't know the newspaper much, and I don't know that person at all。I don't know of that person at all。而係另外一張報紙係蘋果日報講出嚟嘅，就係一個佢哋自己嘅 it's like a society column， 即係唔係講啲 hard news 嘅，而係即係講啲啲有錢人做啲乜嘢啊，即係 it's like inside the city， 即係講啲 banker 做啲咩。我就係諗緊，即係I still don't know how to react to this is， 如果你係嗰個人 ，if you just had either surgery or at least you go through the legal steps to change your sex or your gender to a different one, would you like someone else to report that to the rest of the world?
Doesn't 你可以 legally change your sex 嘅咩？
香港我諗唔得嘅，not without 你唔係with surgery 你就得，即係你要有醫學嘅證明你可以㗎。
咁你有 birth certificate 咩？
birth certificate 唔同嘅 ，that's what you are at birth。
Okay。
但係 I'm sure sex change 係 acceptable。
即係喺你個 driver license 會寫 instead of male is female now。
嗱，香港係身份證嘅咩？香港唔係 driver license，因為每一個人即係唔係個個人揸車，but everybody has a 身份證。
咁如果你唔係 male 又唔係 female 咧，你有冇聽過 fluid gender？Like sometimes you're a male, sometimes you're a female。It's ridiculous, I think。
係咯，即係香港唔得嘅，你一定要有一個，即係 you have to 即係 lean either one way or the other。
Okay, I'm not saying like it's not real. It could be like maybe sometimes you're a male, sometimes you're a female.
No,
but
everybody is free to feel and be what they want to be.
I don't care. Just don't make a big deal of it, and don't like because if you make a big deal of it, media 係好 left leaning 㗎嘛。They'll make a big deal out of it. Like they'll talk about that instead of something that's actually on point. Right? I don't care if Ellen Page is now Elliot Page.
Yeah, I don't care if anyone wants to be a tree for that matter. Like I really don't care. 即係你有你嘅自由去做呢樣嘢，但係要將你嘅 value enforce 喺其他人度。That's not too good. And that's what the media is doing.
咁 back to 你話
唔係我反而我就唔係講個 gender change 嘅問題，而係如果有個人係咁樣做咗嘅話，would they rather
be
discreet or at least be low key about it? Well, they are not discreet when you have your company change your profile picture and everything else. That's not being discreet. But at least that things run naturally, or do you want a third party media broadcast it to the rest of the world?
我覺得通常in general 可能會 depend on 你係 working in 邊一個 industry。如果係 entertainment 嘅話 ，maybe you like that.
You like that.
Yeah.
但係呢個人係乜嘢？即係我第一個感覺就係我會覺得蘋果日報有少少，你應唔應該咁做啊？即係 should you be doing this? Like broadcasting this to the rest of the world, and for that matter, there might be some people who don't even know this person. 即係你喺你個報紙、你個 web page 度，即係 make a big fuss out of it.
Or they could be really progressive, right? Like in South Korea, they don't hide doing plastic surgery at all. Right? 如果你有做過整容嘅話，你周街行有個 like bandage 喺個鼻度， like you just don't care, right? Maybe they're very progressive in that sense. 香港 like in the sense of transgenders, right? 好 progressive.
香港人嗱， 我自己都有個唔係好唔可以話特別 close 嘅親戚啦，即係 by marriage 嘅親戚啦。佢屋企都有人係乜嘢㗎？都有人係 transgender。就佢哋話香港人都係多數去韓國做嘅啫。
喺韓國做啊？
呀！
actually 我冇諗過佢哋喺邊度做。
連香港人都係即係 the surgery and everything else。It was done in South Korea。
OK。
即係 they have第一個可能係個 expertise 啦，第二可能做得多啲咯，比較長。
On a different note， 你知唔知有surgery for beard implant？ 即係如果你生唔到胡鬚嘅話，你想有一個 beard implant 喺邊度做？你知唔知 ？Apparently Turkey was the place. Turkey. So that was something new to me.
第一 who would want a beard implant?
Maybe I would.
It's like kind of like a hair transplant on your chin, right?
我之前有買過一啲 like something oil.
To promote.
Yeah, it does not
growth
work.
of facial hair.
It does not work.
OK， 可能嘅 Turkey 我會信 because 嗱 speaking of which 唔知點解講嗰下嘢又要扯翻上大陸嘅。I think it's part of the Islam faith for men to grow a beard.
Yeah.
It's part of their faith, or to at least let their facial hair grow.
Yeah.
即係唔係咁容易。And 所以 Turkey being an Islamic country, that is totally feasible. Maybe they want to project an image that is not a physical disability to grow a full facial hair.
Yeah. 因為如果佢係信嗰個教嘅話，and they do better in that faith having a full beard.
Yeah. 可能係咁樣，所以 and 即係 the way it all goes back to 就係你一講起話咩，我就諗起大陸係逼嗰啲回教徒要係都要佢剃晒啲鬚，
同埋逼嗰啲新疆人剪晒啲頭髮之後賣咗佢 as 一個
product，as 呢個做 wig 做乜嘢？
去美國之後俾海關 seize 咗，
係咩
？I think it's like how many tons of hair? I think. Okay. Again, 我冇電腦唔可以即刻 fact check. But anyways, it was on the news a couple of months ago. 即係俾海關 seize 咗所有嗰啲 hair product, and then they chased it back to 新疆 right? Where obviously 有百幾萬人 if not more 係俾人imprison 咗，咁之後就 in how do you even call that? Like forced labor? Like
it's a labor camp.
Yeah.
Actually, it's more than that. I think 因為佢唔止係 labor, it's a concentration camp. Well, okay, the Chinese call it an educational camp. 再教育營 because they get educated in the so-called communist values and to be loyal to your party, to the party.
By the way, 整 Nike shoe 同個 Communist Party 嘅 ideal 嘅 education 有咩關係
？I don't know， 即係 I guess 你擺咗咁多人喺度，你又唔可以日日叫佢讀習近平思想，咁你得閒嗰陣時咪即係順便接啲 Nike 啲單去。
Crazy.
Is Nike still being made in China?
I don't think so. Yeah, I shouldn't have
used that. Because the last few pairs I bought, they were mostly made in either Indonesia or Vietnam.
I shouldn't have used that example. But
but yes, of course, there are certain. I think 係我所知，即係雖然我而家 fact check 唔到，但係我好記得人哋講過嘅一間大啲嘅公司就係 Uniqlo。Uniqlo has a lot of stuff made in 新疆。
In 新疆 specifically.
Well, they
佢唔
don't
係通常
advertise
寫
it.
made in China.
Well, it's always said made in China, so we don't know, but the media found out that Uniqlo
somehow 你可以 trace 到嘅
，trace 到係 Uniqlo 係其中一間。
Yeah. OK. 咁仲有冇最近？
即係呢個又係，即係講下，我都唔知當佢講笑定乜嘢，即係好笑定會嬲。2日前有幾個香港嘅小朋友，真係小朋友啦，3個人，最大嗰2個咧做緊 Form 2 is the equivalent of Grade 8，一個讀緊小學6年班，which is the equivalent of Grade 6。咁另外仲有2個就 unnamed persons，都係咁上下 age group 啦嚇，即係12至14歲。我諗你最大咪12至15歲到。 夜媽媽喺街邊打波，即係球場打波咁，I think 可能多數打籃球啩，I don't know。打完波咁出嚟，可能喺 7-Eleven 買個 soft drink 咁坐喺度吹水，喺度講傾偈咁樣。咁有班差人行埋嚟，咁你知香港而家唔可以多過2個人走埋一齊噶嘛 ？So they scamper 即係走啦，哇差佬啊走啦咁樣 ，and then they ran in all directions。咁嗰3個咧就走咗條 back alley 度，咁啲差佬就追咗入去。咁嗰3個走咧就完全唔係因為佢哋有咩 political belief，it's nothing like that。They just don't want to get a $5,000 ticket。
Which makes sense。
係咯，咁你僆仔12歲、13歲仔要阿媽幫佢俾5000蚊，鬧咗你幾年啦，係咪啊？真係。誒咁佢哋走，咁走可能啲即係佢哋走呢度，咁差佬走埋去 ，and then there's a little bit of body contact。And the next day， 差佬話有幾條友走落後巷，襲警搶槍。
唔係啊？咁有冇 charge 到
？OK，this is the thing。一出咗嚟，全香港都嘈晒 ，come on，really？ like 一個小學生，2個初中生，即係讀到。
喂，如果你真係俾人襲警，你都唔好同人講係襲警啦。
俾人笑啦，係咪先？真係。咁跟住跟住再隔咗1日啦，知衰啦，跟住話 under further investigation， 中文就經過深入調查。就而家話咧，其中一個人咧，佢唔係搶槍，佢只不過咧喺走佬嘅過程碰到我哋個差人嗰支槍。But isn't it ridiculous？
我想 analyse 下 due to further investigation 係咩 investigation 先？係 CCTV 啊？
佢就第2日咧，
定係落口供？
佢 CCTV， 佢真係揾一住嘅揾一住嘅差人。第2日咧，即係有啲記者影到一班差人去係敲門，即係嗰陣時因為佢哋好早去，咁就啲鋪頭未，香港啲鋪頭冇咁早開門，通常11點跟住做到好夜。就真係敲人門問人攞你鋪頭有冇前面有冇 CCTV， 就問人攞嘅。
係 back alley 喎。咁
可能前後門都有啦，即係 but they actually actively investigated， 呢個係真嘅。即係唔係話乜嘢嘅，即係但係they did investigate。But why do you jump to the conclusion that when someone actually has a little bit of physical contact with you, they're going for your firearm？ 即係。
唔係啊，我覺得係因為佢哋一定要報呢個案啦，之後唔想俾人以為佢係恰細路，咁所以就話佢啲細路喺度襲警、偷警槍咁樣 ，and then 搶警槍 ，and then later 佢哋 find out 原來俾人哋影到嘅，或者有 CCTV 咁佢改口供，但係我會諗你 due to further investigation， 如果係冇 CCTV， 淨係憑個口供，即係你一開始個警察就已經講大話嘅。幾多歲話？嚟 maximum。
最11到15歲 ，come on。
屌我俾佢，我俾佢，
你都俾人笑啦。嗱 ，OK， 而家仲有你唔係1個差人喎 ，OK， 1個差人你都仲可以話幾個細路仔 overpower 你，因為佢係一架我哋叫香港叫腰車或者衝鋒車啦，即係你睇到啦。咁一架車裏面咧，個車長the guy who is driving 通常都唔落車嘅，咁佢留喺架車咧，入邊一個沙展帶住3個差佬，即係3個軍裝，1個便裝，一個 team of 5個人。
但係有可能我係 based on 我對 RCMP， 因為我喺呢度主管嘅形象影響到，我唔記得咗香港其實有好多咁撚高嘅警察。
都有乜嘢？
即係其實佢隻抽嘅話，真係有機會嗰個靚仔嗰個。
唔係15歲可以好高大嘅，I know，係咪？咁啊，你去
打波
打波打 football 嗰啲15歲會好高大，會打贏因為香港差佬都唔奇。But still really， 即係你5個人5個都有槍嘅，你會驚一個即係2-3個小朋友去搶你槍，即係你 OK 你。I know， 即係成件事唔係 political， it started off not being political itself， 即係你見到有啲僆仔，咁你有咁嘅權，因為 because of 而家個 covid 嗰個 law 你係可以拉佢，咁但係你都唔好咁肉酸做啲嘢，
就係樣衰啊！唉。
Okay，you were about to bring something up， 係嘛？
我係咩？
唔係我哋嗱頭先講到 the gender thing and then I sort of got sidetracked with 即係香港差人俾人搶數。
冇I guess well actually before I go into that 講翻差佬，即係同香港你見慣嗰啲死黑警同呢度溫哥華嘅 RCMP 比，我有一次你知唔知我凌晨5點幾 whatever， 因為我住 condo 啊嘛，有人撳我門鈴，咁就撳我個 buzzer， 咁係我電話響啦，咁我接咗電話，咁就係話係 RCMP 咁樣叫我落去幫佢哋開門，佢哋要查我棟樓裡面有人唔知道咩，咁淨係我呢個單位 answer 佢哋嘅 call， 因為凌晨5點或者something，咁我落到去，一開始我以為 fake call 嚟嘅，不過 anyways，咁我落到去。哇！點解呢度啲 RCMP 同我喺新聞睇香港啲警察幾大分別啊？個個都6尺高，
係啊，
幾撚大隻，right？你真係冇得比，真係如果同佢隻抽，我真係俾佢打死，right？ So
呢度係啊，呢度我諗除咗因為呢度都 RCMP 都有 diversity hire 啦，當然，咁就除咗 ethnic group 可能細粒啲之外，其他嘅真係個個真係6尺高。
同埋呢個本身嘅 culture， 就算你唔係 apply 做警察，好多人嚟 they work out they stuff，like 好撚大隻真係 ，so you won't mess around with 呢度嘅差佬，係咯，同埋well in general 呢度啲差佬都 nice 好多，真係好撚 nice， 真係好撚 nice， 同香港most of them are.
Instead of being nice, I'll just use the word professional.
Yeah.
They have a job to do and they'll do it with the least disturbance to 個 civilian 個佢自己嘅生活。
That's a perfect way to say it.
Yeah. 即係呢樣係最乜嘢
？Back to kind of like I don't know. Bernie Sanders 嗰樣嘢講完，Joe Biden 講完仲有咩講咧？
你睇完未咧？呢個暖男爸爸
未開始。
你未開始添 ？OK， 你未開始咧就
可以講下嘅。
唔係，咁你未開始咧 ，no spoiler alert。
No, I don't mind.
No, actually 我都唔係。OK， 暖男爸爸 is a good 香港人叫做小品，點講咧 ？It says it's a very descriptive kind of drama series, which means that it describes the life of a single parent, a male single parent, and what's happening around him, and佢開一間 and what he was when his wife was alive, and what he became after the tragic death of his wife, and 佢點樣湊大個細路。And it's very heartwarming because the acting was pretty good, and so it's a very likable drama. And 個 leading actor 即係鄭中基 we either see him as a singer-songwriter or as a comic actor with 做暴龍哥嗰啲。And this is a new side of him that not a lot of people seen.
Before you go into 個 drama， 你可唔可以 describe 下佢嘅 personal life？ 你有幾了解 ？I don't know。其實
You mean the actor himself?
Yeah.
佢係 he came from a family. His dad was one of the original。即係而家講翻起係佢爹哋仲年紀大過我，即係我諗佢爹哋年紀大過5至10年到啦。咁就係 60s、70s 讀書嗰啲，讀緊 high school 嗰啲咧，就讀嘅相信會係即係香港而家人叫傳統名校咧，即係有啲 Western influence 嘅學校啦。咁就細細個就聽外國歌，中意彈吉他。So his dad was is in the 打 band 個 circle，即係 like even with 而家日日俾人鬧嗰啲譚詠麟啦阿叻啊，即係嗰一紮，即係佢哋係 from that group。And 佢就跟住去咗呢個即係佢爹哋而家講就入咗環球唱 Universal Records，which is Polygram， 即係嗰陣時，即係 anyway is one of or I could say 當年喺香港 is the number one recording studio or number one 嘅呢個 record label。
佢自己咧？
咁佢就係即係佢係佢爹哋個仔啦，所以 he obviously his dad is 雖然佢係 in an executive position，但係佢對 music 有一定嘅認識啦，所以佢可能自細已經 groom 鄭中基去唱歌啊咁樣。And he has a good voice, and he had good. I think he had very good training in music，即係佢會自己作曲會乜嘢。And I like quite a lot of his songs and so on。And 佢有過一個he was in with the partying crowd。And there was this one incident. I can't remember where he flew from. I think he was flying from the U.S. from Los Angeles or somewhere in California anyway to Taipei. 咁咧喺個飛機度咧 he got drunk. And he was creating a scene. And so much so he was in first class. And he was creating so much of a scene that the pilot came out. This was close to 20 years ago, when he was really young, when he was in his early 20s, right? He created such a big scene that the pilot came out, the pilot or the co-pilot, anyways, and they eventually had to subdue him by hitting him on the head with a great big, 好似嗰啲做 night watcher 嗰啲 it's a flashlight, but 好似個 baton shape 嗰啲 flashlight 咧嗰啲and to the point that he was wearing a bandage like a turban。真係包住個頭嘅陰公，好似 turban 咁樣嘅個頭包到。And that was his 即係 other than his achievements, that was his number one。如果而家你問，即係我呢個有咁嘅 memory 嘅人，你記得鄭中基啲乜嘢？就係呢樣嘢。
佢同暖男爸爸裡面嗰個 character，例如佢有冇結婚？
鄭中基自己有佢OK，佢係。最初佢係有過幾個女朋友㗎，I think我唔記得咗，因為我唔係好關心娛樂新聞啦。如果我冇記錯，佢好似同楊千嬅都拍過拖，but don't quote me on that。佢 definitely 結過婚同阿 Sa。OK，
結過婚。
Which blew my mind。OK，因為 as far as I know，即係起碼我聽翻嚟嘅消息咧，係 it's kind of surprising。阿 Sa 會同個男人結婚嘅，but that's another story and that's。完全冇證實嘅，所以我唔講嚇。咁但係佢同阿 Sa 結過婚嘅，即係又係嗰啲香港人突然間話我哋結婚啊喺 Las Vegas 啊，and they show you a Las Vegas and Nevada marriage certificate。But anyhow 就結咗婚，跟住唔係佢哋係離咗婚之話，佢哋曾經結過婚呀。我哋而家離咗婚啦。
喂，咁似 Friends 裡面嘅。
嗰啲 I know 係啦。咁就跟住佢就而家結咗婚，而家有個小朋友嘅，好似屋企。OK， 即係而家佢係一個and 而家佢嘅 job opportunity 少好多，因為佢係我甚至乎我唔會話佢黃，我淨係話佢 he speaks with reason。
That's actually
即係佢會覺得有啲嘢，屌你，即係你 what's the logic in doing that or saying that and he spoke out about it and that cost him a lot of job opportunities。
我唔會 question 佢講嘢啱定係錯啦，但係我覺得佢like the fact that he doesn't side with one side，that's pretty good。I think that's good in general。即係有一個好我哋呢邊西方國家嘅一個 value 就係 you just side with the reasonable party。Like obviously 我係黃嘅 ，right？但係始終有啲嘢喺黃嘅呢邊嘅 circle 做嘅嘢或者 post 嘅嘢，我哋都會覺得係有少少嚇。Right， but go on like I respect。
即係同埋鄭中基點講咧 ？Given his background， 因為佢爹哋係his dad was a recording executive。但係即係佢爹哋個公司個 label 係咁多年嚟都係。譚詠麟啊、Winners 啊、鐘鎮濤，即係嗰個乜嘢嘅。And I'm sure 如果今時今日佢係高入嗰邊嘅話，佢會喺 TVB 有好好嘅 future。佢會有人幫佢 arrange 去中國大陸唱歌啊，去乜嘢。But instead 佢而家嘅演出機會係少晒 ，and then now he's appearing on View。Okay，
that's is that kind of like 叫咩啊？佢最近拍咗自己一套戲，佢自己分嘅，自己做導演，自己做演員嗰套咩舞獅啊？
一來宗師，
佢
但係你咪話 OK 黃子華。
黃子華。
OK。
sorry。
一代宗師黃子華又好得意嘅。黃子華咧，我覺得咧，黃子華係加拿大翻去㗎。In fact，
係咩
actually 我睇過有個
出道之前。
係咯，出道之前啦嚇。咁咧佢翻去嗰陣時，我睇過黃子華有個好似係鏗鏘即係RTHK 香港電台訪問佢嘅節目。咁就嗰陣時係佢未有而家咁紅啦 ，way before that。and 佢講咧，佢講得好啱，因為呢個完全係我嘅感覺。你知我係喺呢度87年移民，住到97年，喺呢度住咗10年，冇翻過香港。and 97年跟住翻香港住，佢就話作為一個加拿大人咧，佢翻到香港佢第一個感覺咧就係3個字，咁都得。即係好多嘢咧，你覺得呢啲做法你哋即係咁都得，即係喺加拿大完全唔係咁樣做嘅。
但係呢個講法好香港。呢
個講法好香港。嗱 OK，that was after 佢喺香港已經 establish 咗。and 黃子華咧又係嗰啲講 logic 嘅啫，佢完全黃子華係完全冇 lean towards 任何一個 political camp 嘅。佢唔會話，佢亦都唔會話黃絲有集會佢走去he show his face there。佢唔會去咩國慶晚會，佢亦都唔會去嘅。但係咧，佢一樣有咁多香港人中意佢。但係同時咧，亦都有好多大陸人中意佢嘅喎。
Okay，that's fair。Back to
暖男爸爸。唔係，我想講嘅就係暖男爸爸係一個你幾時睇都得。
OK。
亦都係呢個我自己覺得就係好睇。OK，it's good，it's 即係一個好簡單嘅，it's just about the story of a few 即係1-2年裏邊一個single parent 嘅經歷，佢嘅故事咁樣。
唔好 spoiler free 啊！我相信好多人都睇咗啦。照講啦，我睇。
唔係，因為其實我係唔係好 focus 咁樣睇嘅，所以我唔想太過乜嘢去講。因為我想講嘅咧係呢個即係 After 暖男爸爸咧 ViuTV 下一出。我哋 oops，shoot，that's my 我ViuTV 下一出咧就係叫做
排球嗰個。
Oh that was such a good show。我揸住，你去後邊幫我攞啲咩得唔得 ？Paper towel。不過呢啲索水多啲，yeah。OK， 唔係索住呢度先啦。好啊。其實 pause 唔係為咗。Okay, we're back。咁就繼續講翻係啦，呢個ViuTV 嘅劇集。咁就 After 暖男爸爸咧，而家其實都做晒㗎，下一出就係中文叫男排女將啦。咁 obviously 就係講一班男仔打排球，但係有個女仔做 coach 嘅。
Before 你講劇情，我想講下，喂 Stephy 幾正喎，睇落仲真係 OK 喎。
OK，you just touch a raw nerve。我唔知你有冇，你可能你唔知，即係你有 follow 我 Facebook， 但係你睇唔到中文寫乜嘢啦。我係好against人哋叫呢個女仔做 Stephy 嘅。
點解咧
？OK，我成日話 Stephy 係一個 role， 佢中文名係叫做鄧麗欣。
嚇？佢英文名叫咩啊？
佢英文名我唔知，可能叫做 Stephy， 可能唔係。即係我唔知 Stephy 係咪佢出道嗰陣時人。
Stephy 係咩 role 啊
？OK， 我應該咁講 ，Stephy 係一個 role 嘅意思咧，即是等於鄭秀文人哋叫做 Sammy， 即係我覺得 Sammy 係一個 role， 鄭秀文先係嗰個人。
Sammy 唔係佢個名嚟嘅咩？
係一個 image， 係一個即係啲 fans 會叫做 Sammy 啊乜嘢，即係 same thing。阿嬌阿 Sa，
點解？但係你唔會叫50 Cent 做 Curtis 嘅啫。
If you get to know him, you probably would.
No way.
So 即係 OK，same thing. 50 Cent is a role. It's an image that he portrayed in front of his fans.
係咩 ？Stephy 係邊套戲啊？
嚇？
係邊套戲啊 ？Stephy
唔係，佢唔係一出戲嘅 role。我嘅意思係佢嘅。
So she goes by Stephy. That's her name.
I won't call it her name， 即係我會覺得係點講咧 ？Stephy 係佢唱歌嗰陣時個名，可以咁講啦。如果你係話 is a name，Cookies
嗰陣
，Cookies 嗰陣時，甚至乎後來佢 solo 佢都係 OK。佢 solo 已經即係點講咧？即係好似阿 Sa 咁樣，或者阿嬌咁樣 Twins 嗰陣時咁樣。
咁你叫阿 Sa 做咩 你咪叫佢阿 Sa，阿 Sa 唔係
Well,
佢
firstly,
真
I'm
名
not
啫。
on first name terms with her. 即係 I don't know her at all.
你係 on first name terms with Stephy。
我都唔係 on first name，但係我會覺得 calling her Stephy is kind of belittling 佢 achievement in anything other than being a singer。
但係佢依家都仲高by Stephy 喎。
誒，
即係我睇嗰套點解你唔明啦？嗰個 podcast 佢哋都係叫佢做 Stephy。
大部分人係叫佢做 Stephy，但係我嘅意思咧就係 Stephy 係一個 image， 係一個形象，就係佢做呢個乜嘢嗰陣時個形象。Whereas 佢而家 as a serious actor，then maybe we should address her by the name that she uses in the credits。
佢係咪咁樣高拜先？
佢個 credit 佢個名就係即係例如話，即係你個因為 roll credit
我都唔知喎。
呢佢真名即係我唔知係佢真名。
佢姓咩我都唔知。
OK 係咯，即係可能 most people know her as Stephy，但係 from Stephy to 而家做戲呢個 actress 嘅話，係 she went through a lot。
即係譬如阿 Jam 咁樣，阿 Jam 嗰個歌手佢真名叫咩？
鄧紫棋。
係咪要諗一諗啊？
唔係鄧紫即係都可以噏得出嘅，即係你咁樣問我會諗，但係諗都係一個好 brief 嘅 time。但係我會覺得即係真係叫佢 Stephy 有少少 belittle 咗。即係我其中你知我寫咗2個 post 嘅 on 呢個男排女將。第一就係 on her， 因為佢個 improvement 係大到黐線，
係嘛？
大到你唔信嘅，即係今時今日睇佢喺呢出戲。嗱佢如果我印象中咧，佢係有3個 stage 嘅。第一個 stage 就係 Cookies 啦 ，obviously。第二個 stage 咧就係 Cookies 散咗 ，and then 佢就 team up with 佢嗰陣時嘅男朋友啦，方力申啦，and 同埋呢個同方力申同埋另外一個導演，咁啊拍咗幾出嘅 rom-com 嘅。咁我會覺得嗰個係佢第2個 stage。第3個 stage 咧就 start with 佢幫杜汶澤拍戲。拍空手道，即係嗰個就係佢即係真真正正 step into 個身份就係一個演員，由一個演員變咗一個好演員。因為即係佢可能呢個劇本啱嘅，因為佢自己本身都係一個打得幾好嘅排球員啦。咁 and so 即係佢而且佢打排球。雖然唔係一個 pro， 但係佢都打得好 competitive 嘅 level， 咁所以佢好多嘢都係打波嘅 jargon 啊樣嘢佢都講，即係 it comes very naturally to her。咁所以即係我會覺得，即係我喺我 post 講嘅咧就係你 compare 同樣一個由唱開歌跟住做戲，which 我攞咗3個人嚟做 comparison， 因為呢3個都係唱歌唱得。幾紅啦，唱得好唔好一件事，唱得紅啦，即係多 fans 啦。一個就係楊千嬅，一個就係阿 Sa，一個就係 Sammy。
3個都有拍過戲
，3個都有拍唔少戲添，即係3個都係唱歌唱得有一堆嘅 fans，and then 拍嘢都拍好多戲嘅呢3個。compare to 佢哋其實 Stephy 唔係拍好多戲嘅啫。但係 Stephy 比起另外呢3個咧，佢有一個最大嘅 advantage，就係 unlike 呢3個人咧，佢唔使用做戲嚟 complement 佢唱歌個 career，
係一個 individual 嘅 talent 嘅一個 asset。
係啦，咁所以嗱，你睇下因為Sammy 又好，另外即係阿 Sa 楊千嬅又好，佢哋一路都有唱開，一路都有做開戲啊嘛，咪一路都有唱開歌啊嘛。咁所以佢哋亦都因為佢哋係你阿 Sammy， 佢哋阿 Sa， 佢哋係千嬅。That's why I don't address them by their true names。佢哋一路要 protect 住佢哋唱歌嗰陣時，俾人哋睇到嘅 image。所以佢哋做戲嘅 role 咧。都係they don't go outside of themselves. They don't go outside of what they are already doing.
I could imagine。我唔係睇好多Stephy 嗰套新嘅劇啦，但係睇咗一啲 clip，佢個演技係 都真係幾 natural。I think it has to do with ViuTV。佢係咪俾你發揮到自己
？OK，ViuTV 係俾你發揮到自己，但係你都要得先得㗎。即係如果你 if you are a bad actor, you're a bad actor. It doesn't matter who your boss is. It doesn't matter who is financing it.
I would argue against that。Sammy 嘅戲我唔係睇好多，但係阿 Sa 同阿楊千嬅嘅戲，佢哋唔講佢哋自己嘅演技，佢哋個 producer 或者 director 係有一個好 clear 嘅story 想 tell， 佢哋想 frame 阿 Sa 或者楊千嬅呢個 character in a certain way。
係啦，完全係，即係楊千嬅永遠都係做翻自己㗎。
係啦，
阿 Sa same thing。阿 Sa 今年係我諗佢入咗行，即係入咗呢個由 Twins 到而家，由 early Twins。
有冇20年
？A quarter of a century, dude.
She still looks like she's 20 something。
所以即係你有乜理由你玩，即係佢係玩開係即係唔夠稱靚妹嗰個咁嘅 feel，玩咗廿幾年啊，大佬！如果你 Twins 嗰個年代，你生咗個細路，而家嗰個都已經唔算係靚妹啦，都中女啦，25歲啦。
There's a problem with that.
Yeah, and 楊千嬅亦都 same thing。楊千嬅咁耐都係即係會大聲笑啊，即係傻傻更更啊咁樣，由即係以前啲戲做到最近半年前，佢同 TVB 有出劇，佢做過師奶。
冇睇。
但
做過師奶啊 ？Really？
Well， 但係都係一個傻傻咁笑、戇鳩鳩嘅師奶，即係 same thing， 只不過係個年紀大咗咁解啫嘛，冇變過㗎。
I think there is a problem with that.
Yeah, I totally have a problem with that.
因為就算 like that's who you are, you want to embrace it， 但係is that your character though? Like is that
it may be your character, but as an actress, you cannot always stay in 你自己個 character, and then that you will never be able to break through.
Unless you do a fucking good job， 好似梁朝偉咁樣，like he's always just himself。就算阿苗僑偉咁樣。嚟佢拍嗰套咩啊？咩 Line Walker 中文叫咩啊？
使徒行者。
使徒行者 ，right? He's always like that in every single 每一套劇佢都係。
每一套劇都係咁。
但係 he's more digestible， like he's I guess 係佢本身比較型啲，or whatever 比較 cool 啲。
但係即係咁，你其實梁朝偉都已經係乜嘢㗎啦？我覺得梁朝偉已經即係有過好多 breakthrough 㗎啦。但係你講翻即係頭先講呢個係由頭到尾係冇 breakthrough 嘅，廿幾年嚟都係即係都係咁嘅樣。好似 Stephy 唔係，你真係睇到佢有進步㗎。鄭秀文就咁唔使講㗎啦，即係 Sammy 咧，我 as an entertainer 咧，佢係完全俾唔到乜嘢我嘅。即係我真係唔覺得佢無論除咗嗱。跳舞我唔識，所以我唔講。
OK。唱
歌有人中意，但係我唔係特別中意佢嗰種唱歌。
That's fair。
做戲又好，佢冇 talk show， 但係佢有陣時 on stage 搞 gag 啊嗰啲，或者俾人訪問啊乜嘢，即係佢講嗰啲嘢，我會覺得幾難咯。即係啲嘢係好，it's really bad 嘅。
To be fair， 佢唱歌有咁多 fans，I guess 佢一定係。有啲料嘅 ，right？ 但係 she wasn't that 無間道 ，right？Yes。Right？ 佢嘅 character 其實 there was no contribution at all。
No contribution to 嗰個係任何你擺個女人出嚟做阿劉德華條女都得㗎。
Like you're in it just so that people would see， Sammy 喺裏面喎。
係啦，冇錯啦。佢拍戲係因為人哋覺得哇呢出戲有 Sammy 做喎，可能會有啲 Sammy 嘅 fans 會買飛俾錢睇啊，會 stream 啊咁解嘅啫。
Not to like step on Sammy or Sammy or whatever， 但係就類似有啲美國戲為咗想 target 中國嘅 market， 佢擺個 Angelababy 喺裏面 ，Independence Day 其中一套 ，right？Like Angelababy had no contribution to the movie whatsoever. It would have been so much better 如果佢唔喺裏面 ，right? But she was in it.
It's nothing more than a cameo.
Yeah.
It's like Brad Pitt going on Friends, right? It could have been anybody else.
A cameo.
It's a cameo. 而且咧就 OK to be fair，Sammy 唔係冇嘗試過做啲 比較上 media 嘅，即係多啲戲做嘅戲。But she's no good. At least I don't think she's any good with that. 即係佢冇 improve 過。
Based on 你嘅
Whereas 呢個鄧麗欣 or what's commonly known as Stephy or the artist formerly known as Stephy，OK， 哇！佢嘅進步真係黐線嘅，即係佢係識得用對眼做戲，係佢嘅 improvement 係完全你諗唔到，或者你唔會諗唔到，但係你會知道。比起20幾年前嘅佢，like the improvement is real, and she is a serious actress. And okay, this is number one 啦。第二個出戲嘅 theme 咧就 OK， 同其實即係冇話 spoil 唔 spoiler 嘅，所有呢啲講運動嘅戲咧，通常都係 a group of athletes who are at a disadvantage. In volleyball is because 佢哋唔夠高啦，技術又唔係咁好啦。又冇乜打過大賽經驗啦，and then they 即係慢慢 improve， 即係佢哋唯一有嘅咧就係個 heart，they have the heart to play well。and then 佢就其中有一個就好中意打排球嘅，咁死兩埋爛掠咗 Stephy 出嚟做個教練，and then they went from 一個 lower division 上到去高啲嘅 division， 上到去 the top level， 即係講一個咁嘅故事嘅啫。
即係唔會 serious 得去邊。Right, in a way 都會有好多 comedy 嘅 involve 嘅。
有好多 comedy， 有條所謂感情線，即係有講溝女，有講乜嘢嘅，咁成班男仔一定會有噶啦。但係好好睇。第一咧，我睇咗大約一半咧，我唔能夠停止我自己 ，I can't stop myself from drawing a comparison to 全民造星。Okay，
因為好多 cast 都係。
OK，it's not about the cast。你睇下全民造星嘅 theme 係點咧？尤其是今年係一啲喺 TVB 冇人睇嘅，曾經入過 TVB 冇人睇嘅，曾經已經努力過 ，but they just didn't get anywhere，and then they got offered a new opportunity。and 你話唱歌好唔好咧？其實好多真係都係麻麻地嘅啫。但係佢哋有 heart， 佢哋去想去做呢樣嘢。So I can't help drawing the comparison to that。And the fact that 兩套戲，即係全民造星個 show 同埋呢套 volleyball 呢套男排女將係同時間推出嚟咧 ，I think it's more than a coincidence。即係 call it my own conspiracy theory。No，
同時播 ，I'm sure 應該係有關係嘅。
It's a marketing thing。
因為兩個都係 ViuTV 噶嘛，
係兩個都係 ViuTV， 同時播，亦都用翻2-3年前嘅全民造星嘅contestant 出嚟做翻好多嘅 role。但係 everything said and done， 所以真係好好睇，好 uplifting。即係明知係做戲，明知呢隊弱，即係打得差啲嘅，打得好強。You know for dramatic effect they're gonna win。
呢個係一個 cliche 嘅，
係咯，係 cliche 嘅。但係我都睇到好緊張，即係 I follow every movement, every score， 即係都睇到你好乜嘢㗎，好緊張㗎。
I think that has to do with 成個 production team，right？ 除咗啲演員actually 我想講翻阿 Stephy， 佢going back to 你點樣 compare 佢同其他唱歌又拍戲嘅演員，right？ 你係咩年紀就應該演翻嚟 similar to 你自己年紀嘅 kind of like acting，right？ 佢嘅 personality，right？ 因為你 as you age， 你係absorb 咗一啲，you attain some new personality，you attain some new ideas。
Your life experience built you up to be the person you are today。
係啦，咁我想講就係美國有一套 Netflix 叫做 Cobra Kai。佢就係因為佢俾 like total
extension to 即係一個 like sequel to Karate Kid。
It's a sequel to the original, the OG Karate Kid from like 30 years ago.
Yeah, Karate Kid.
Something like that, I'm sure.
It's more than 30 years ago.
It has to do with the production freedom, right? 你演員想嚟俾自己 idea, right? ViuTV, it's kind of new, right? So I'm sure 佢啲演員想有啲新嘅 idea， 或者個 production crew 有啲新嘅 idea，they would be open-minded 俾佢哋試下。 as opposed to TVB。Right？in terms of 所有嘢 marketing products，marketing 佢 sponsor 嘅 product，in terms of like acting。
我諗 ViuTV 最大嘅一個 different from TVB 係因為 TVB 而家真係唔係拍戲俾香港人睇，and 佢哋拍戲因為佢哋嘅戲 is like 最近嗰出The latest Line Walker Number Three，Line Walker Three，
使徒行者，
使徒行者3。其實2開始已經係嘅，定唔知1已經係啦，I don't know。但係佢哋好多嘅劇集都係同中國大陸嘅一啲platform、streaming platform，好似愛奇藝啊、咩 QQ、騰訊啊，即係一齊合作嘅。And in fact，我哋喺溫哥華俾香港人之前已經睇到好多 TVB 嘅嘢，點解呢？因為呢啲嘢喺香港未做之前呢，已經喺大陸嗰啲 platform 度 stream 緊㗎啦。And because of that，佢 appeal to 個 audience 係中國大陸嗰10幾億人 ，more so than 香港嗰幾百萬人。
我嘅 idea 係 kind of 你知唔知道點解like TVB is more catered towards 大陸嗰班 audience？係因為佢嘅拍攝嗰個或成個 storyline 成個 plot 係好低 level 啊，即係佢嘅 storytelling 好低 level，個 character development 好低 level。Whereas 我再講翻，我再 compare 翻 Karate Kid， 佢每一個 character 係 build out like they take time，like another example Breaking Bad，right？佢哋每一個 scene 係 they take a very long time to shot one scene，right？It builds suspense。嗰個 character 諗緊啲咩？你 as 一個 audience， 你係完全可以感受到佢個 character 係 going through 啲咩。Whereas TVB 好快嘅，啲劇情勁快嘅。佢就算點樣有啲新嘅 idea，build into 呢個使徒行者3，佢只不過係 further complicate 啲 storyline，but they don't write it any better than before。
我諗主要唔單止係咁咯，係。
之後問你啊，使徒行者我喺度嗰一日，嗰個男仔同女仔配
蔡思貝
，is it 同埋嗰個男仔幾靚仔㗎嘛，俾人捉咗嗰兩個咧，right？佢哋嘅 love story like how 我 feel 唔到佢哋 in love 咯。
當然啦，因為 TV 拍嘅係咁噶嘛，即係佢係一個 is an industrial production，it's like building a car or whatever。你要每幾分鐘有個 gag， 你要每 at the end of 有個 you leave the audience hanging，so that they come back the next night， 因為佢每晚一晚做一集噶嘛，咁所以你係即係you can see all the calculation，it's like。building a house or making something that's inanimate，即係好似起屋好似咩咁，你做呢個 step， 你做呢個 step， 每隔咁耐你要留翻一個位係嚟做乜嘢嘅，你要 divide 你個 screen time to 有幾多個 character，而呢個 character 係公司捧緊嘅，想佢多啲 exposure 嘅，咁你又俾多啲戲佢咁樣。
Whereas 你 compare 翻美國嘅戲或者 ViuTV，like 佢俾多好多時間每一個 scene。去令到每一個 character 好 build out 自己想表達嘅嘢，佢哋諗緊嘅嘢 ，it's very better written。即係另外一樣嘢想 compare 嘅就係、譬如well actually 呢一種 story writing， 即係所有嘢都要好快 like TVB。Is that more a financial decision， like 因為個financial backer 邊個 fund 呢套劇
？Obviously, it's everything to do with business. It's just business.
What does that say about the audience it's trying to target though？係咪佢哋覺得睇呢套劇嘅人係 brain dead 咧 ？Like they won't get anything deeper。Obviously，
即係 that's why 即係點解香港人而家唔中意，就係因為 TVB 嘅戲同香港好多電影一樣，係已經唔拍俾香港人睇。
That's the problem。
有，但係因為佢哋係 because 佢哋係做生意行先，like business goes like way beyond 個 artistic representation，所以佢哋係即係已經每一樣嘢都係一個 commercial product。
呢個係一個
It's just a product。
呢個係一個 problem 咯，因為 you're not focusing on making a good product. You're just focusing on creating a product that will attract the most audience.
係啊，
And that
完全
says
係咁
something
樣。
about your company's value. Like you think your audience are actually that dumb. Right? We're not. That's why 好多人都唔再睇 like
That's
TVB.
why 係啦，咁 OK，back to ViuTV versus TVB。我最中意嘅咧，其中一個 storyline 咧喺男排女將咧就係佢講最初嗰陣時咧，呢班人咧，即係嗰班即係我話打得唔好嗰班小朋友咧，嗰班男仔咧，佢哋係 they are the B team for 一個好好嘅球隊嘅，即係嗰個球隊哋係好叻嘅，即係全香港第一嘅球隊。咁佢哋有 they have the regular 12 players。And then beyond that，佢哋下邊仲有一班咧，就係 they are the players who are waiting to get up to the to the upper level，但係佢哋因為 because of all kinds of conditions they can't。And then 跟住嗰個球隊就話 because of funding，我哋 we can't keep these players anymore。So they drop them. That's why they don't have a team to play for. That's why they started their own team。And then 佢俾時間個 story develop 咧，就係過咗4年。呢個大球隊咧，漸漸咧 ，they don't get any better。They didn't improve. Not only did they not improve, they actually went down to the second tier。And these guys, they started at the bottom, which is the fourth tier。And then they improved themselves to the third and the second tier。所以咧，最後最 climax 嗰場波咧，就唔係話打到 top tier 嘅，就係 in the second tier。當第一個嗰隊波曾經係咁多人，即係大家覺得佢好嘅，跌到落去 second tier，而呢隊咧由 fourth tier 冇人識佢哋，都去到呢度佢哋打，which is exactly like TVB and Viu。TVB 曾經係好高咩 ？Everybody looks at Chinese entertainment。As TVB is the representation of good Chinese language entertainment.
Really?
And sometimes yes, not now of course， 但係 way back 曾經。有梅艷芳有張國榮，你都未出世嗰個年代。即係 OK，TVB 係即係有梅艷芳有張國榮有乜嘢？香港嘅 entertainment is TVB。That
I agree.
And then ViuTV from nothing， 佢哋上到嚟呢度。So that 即係佢 draw 呢個 comparison， 我覺得係好聰明嘅。
That I totally agree。即係
因為曾經 TVB represent everything about Hong Kong。And entertainment in Hong Kong， 即係佢哋係即係你諗下 they brought out 梅艷芳 from nothing，and 佢捧紅咗張國榮嘅 together with 張學友，and they were like way up there，全香港係明星都會上 TVB 嘅，最 the brightest stars they all go on to TVB，and now they are down there。
From a storytelling point, ViuTV is a much more compelling story, right? The underdogs, right? Practicing, like doing their best, right? Getting to the top, as opposed to someone who started at the top and then just couldn't get any better.
Not only did they not get any better, they got 佢哋差咗 like they are not where they used to be. But then they realize, hey, we're making the same kind of money.So let's stay where we are. Yeah, it's fine.
The comparison that I want to make is with Mulan. Okay， 你有冇睇？
我有睇
最新呢套。哦，你有睇啊？
I
Okay, that's fine.
Seriously, I had to suffer through it, but I want to see it. And 點解咧？我係好中意 I like to punish myself for watching Western productions。That is a bad representation of Chinese culture.
Okay.
我睇下你差到點撚樣。
我其實冇睇，但係 I know everything about the film because I watched so much YouTube reviews about it. So that's already a very bad start, right? 我完全唔想睇，我係從 YouTube review 去知道所有 detail. So it's about a girl, Mulan, who started out as a child prodigy. Prodigy?
I won't say she is a prodigy, but her dad trained her well in the martial arts and all that, right?
That scene where she was falling from the roof, 即係佢喺2樓 or whatever 佢跌落嚟 and then she had this crazy martial art that she could land perfectly, right? And still make a pose, right? That's not prodigy.
Well,
that's not real life. Come on.
That's definitely not real life.
But in the original Mulan, right? Original 嗰套 Mulan 佢係一個完全唔識得功夫，佢去 war camp 嘅時候，佢都輸俾好多其他男仔。Where I want to get to from this is 新呢套 Mulan 佢一出世就係一個好叻嘅女仔，佢識得武功，佢甚至乎識得一啲 chi， 中文叫咩？氣啊 ，right？ Whereas original 嗰套就係
Okay, hang on a sec. When you say original, do you mean the cartoon?
The cartoon.
Oh, okay, I never watched the cartoon for that matter.
That's fine. I didn't either, but I know the whole thing because I watch YouTube reviews. Anyways, 就係 original 嗰套 cartoon 咧，佢就係 from 一個完全唔識得武功，為咗保護佢自己爹哋，唔想佢爹哋去打仗，咁就加入咗個 war, the army.
Yeah, she enlisted in place of her dad.
Yeah, and she sucked. She sucked. But because she was pretty smart, like she was smart with it, 佢用其他 technique instead of like brute strength. Whereas 因為佢入 army 係同其他男仔噶嘛 right? Obviously 男仔 in general 係多啲 muscle， 即係佢哋爬山，佢哋
打功夫樣嘢 they have better physical strength. Yeah.
She used her wits to get ahead of those people. Whereas 新呢套 Mulan 佢係從出世到一個好叻打功夫嘅人，佢爹哋因為受傷定係咩唔可以去打仗，佢話：Hey, I'm fucking good at martial arts. Why don't I just go for you? It's not a sacrifice. Do you get it? It's not a sacrifice for this Mulan.
Okay. I don't know if you know the true story of Mulan, like in Chinese folklore.
Yeah.
有少少似第一個 but basically, firstly, her dad is not a general. Her dad was a foot soldier. I don't know if even her dad was even a soldier. What happened is, okay, way back thousands of years ago in China, they need people to fight. Yeah, the real Mulan. They need people to fight. They would say, we need one man from every family to, to serve your country or serve your, 佢哋自己即係 you can call it country, but anyway, to serve in the army. And so the dad has to go because he doesn't have a son. But he's old. And he's old and he will be weak and the chances of him surviving the war is very slim. So Mulan just stepped up and say, okay, why don't I go? I dress myself as a guy and I'll go. But neither Mulan's dad nor Mulan herself is trained in any kind of martial arts.
That's where I'm trying to make the comparison.
Yeah, exactly.
Original 嗰套 Mulan 就係佢根本唔識 martial arts， 佢為咗保護佢爹哋去加入個 army。That's a sacrifice. You could die in that war. Like it's a cartoon, but to make the comparison, like for comparing sake. 新嗰套 Mulan 佢係已經一出世已經好撚勁。It's not a sacrifice. So what does that say to the audience? It's like saying if you're born weak, you can't do shit.
Yeah.
If you're born, to make a real life comparison. 今時今日就係如果你唔夠靚嘅話 you can't do shit as a girl. If you're not looking better than the other girls on Instagram, you're nothing, right? Whereas the original Mulan 就係 even if you're not as good as the other girls or the other boys, 你夠聰明嘅話 you can beat them all. And that's a much more powerful message.
Yeah, if you're not good at something else, you might be able to achieve the same results by using your other talents.
Exactly. That's such a much more powerful message. 就好似 ViuTV, right? Or 排球嗰套 right? 佢哋 like they started out as 唔夠高，唔
Yeah, at a
夠
disadvantage.
right
But there are
exactly
other ways to play the game.
yeah that's what makes a good story that's good storytelling
Yeah.
right
我反而即係你話，如果而家即係劉亦菲做嗰出烏蘭咧，我 what I don't like about it other than 即係佢個 storyline 咧，就係 I've never seen 佢一出戲咧可以將咁多 different because China is so big so different areas in China have different cultures 佢全部 mix 埋一齊嘅。
即係變咗一個 ethnic group。
所以人哋覺得China 就係咁樣，即係 this is a very bad representation. And one of the reasons I watch it is in case some non-Chinese person bring it up, I would have to tell him, look, this is not the way it is. 例如話，好似佢喺戲裏邊咧，佢烏蘭做嗰隻住嗰種地方咧，佢以前有啲而家咧係喺福建地方嘅 architecture 嚟嘅，就係有一個好大，真係 the size of BC Place 咁大嘅一個 building 咧。The building is shaped like a donut. It's actually shaped like a donut. 即係佢係圓㗎。
OK， 我知嗰種。即係 from satellite 根本
你睇到係一個圓嘅，即係 it's kind of like a donut.
They thought it was an alien UFO or whatever.
嚇嗰隻。
Yeah。但
係嗰個咧係 Southern China 係 Fujian Province 嗰度或者客家人嗰啲 culture 嚟嘅。
整咩嘅咧？做咩嘅咧？
佢即係點解咧？因為以前你 you don't have a, 即係佢哋如果你話係agriculturally 咁有啲人有個 village 咧，但係你冇 village， 你又要大家住埋一齊 ，so that you can and it's shaped round so that you can fight any invaders from all directions. 所以 that's why it's built like that. 但係佢將 in Southeast China 嘅一個 architecture 又搬咗去 Northwest China，
激唔激死
？And then 仲有咧就係 like everybody knows fucking magic. Other than martial arts, they also have crazy magic. Like a person, a witch changing herself into a
crow,
a bird at free will, and all kinds of weird shit. 即係完全已經係。
They took out Mushu
dragon. Yeah, they don't have Mushu dragon.
They don't have Mushu, but they had the monkey in Aladdin. So what's that about? They made a phoenix that doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
That doesn't do absolute shit. They made a phoenix, but they couldn't make Mushu.
Yeah.
Right? Mushu 其實係好重要啊嘛。
In the cartoon.
In the cartoon.
Yeah.
佢係幫 well in a way 幫 Mulan 去 figure out 點樣可以 beat the guys and stuff. 但新呢套 I guess she didn't need Mushu because she was so fucking good, right?
Yep.
At doing magic and stuff, right? Like she literally had to hide her own abilities and got kicked out by the general by not Jet Li, by 葉問嗰條甄子丹 like she got kicked out.
I don't know, I wasn't following it. I was like half asleep most of the time while I was watching it. But
That's
it was
fine.
但係佢係 yeah, I just remembered but anyway, yeah, first 第一樣嘢係啦 she is very very well trained even before she joined the army. And 第二就係咯 what and then there's a lot of inaccuracies. So I mean realistically we don't even know if Mulan is a real character because Mulan only the way I knew it, Mulan appeared in it's like kind of like a song, like it's storytelling through a song. It is a part of the Chinese literary style. It's storytelling through a song, and it's basically folklore. It's not. It might not be real. There might not be a real character called Mulan.
But Disney can't keep that aspect.
No.
因為 Mulan 佢為咗保護 I guess like 中國 she has to do it for the fucking king. Or she has to do it for the country, right?
Exactly.
She can't do it for her dad like the original cartoons Mulan did.
She's only doing it for her dad. Like
fuck that.
係好乜嘢嘅真係 But yeah, you were saying about Disney and Mulan and the way that it's like the way Disney is pumping out these kind of movies. 即係同 TVB 同乜嘢 draw to.
個 difference 係 Hollywood 為咗要入 Chinese market 佢改晒呢啲嘢，like how she changed like how Hollywood changed Doctor Strange, Marvel,
Yeah.
right? Doctor Strange's mentor,
Yeah.
she's a woman, right?
Yep.
She was supposed to be a Tibetan monk
Yep.
in the original cartoon
Yeah.
or comic. They changed it to a white woman. That's fucking crazy just to appeal to the Chinese market. In a way, Marvel did such a smart move by making her a woman, right? So that Marvel could, in a way, appease the feminist kind of
Yeah,
like.
exactly. That's exactly why.
But that's fucking that's covering the bullshit. It's still
係
bullshit though.
Yep. 咁你乜嘢都係啦，你I mean, come on. Not that I have anything against it, but I mean, look at James Bond.
嚇
我唔知你 how much how well do you know
係咪
James
嗰個
Bond?
badge 啊？其中一件褸嘅 badge。
No, James Bond. No, no.
Oh, not oh, okay,
007.
okay, okay, okay. I was thinking Tom Cruise 嗰套 Mission Impossible.
Mission
Okay,
No.
yeah.
Okay. James Bond 咁多年嚟 like throughout the years since the 60s, James Bond boss 因為佢哋係 supposedly British the Secret Service 佢哋個 designation 係 either in digits or just in alphabets, right? And James Bond 個 boss 係 supposedly is someone by the name of M.
Okay,
And it's always a guy.
okay.
And the later ones, since Daniel Craig, they changed it to a woman.
I had no idea. Isn't that crazy? The newer generation has no idea.
Yeah.
Right?
And the next best thing, the next James Bond, Daniel Craig is retiring.
It's going to be
An
I'll let you say
African
it.
American female. Which is like, what?
How is she going to get all the bitches?
Yeah, because part of the charm of James Bond is like he fucks his way through half the world to get.
That
to
is
get
his
the bad guy.
charm.
Yeah.
Okay, 我想講翻你話 M 本身係應該做一個男人嘅。Isn't that the craziness of like brainwashing?
Yeah.
因為我同你差幾個like 2 generations，
差唔多啦。
但係中國依家做緊嘅嘢，係佢 brainwash 緊所有 education，教佢哋中國有幾偉大啊，唔俾佢哋講光復香港啊呢啲咁嘅嘢。
Yeah.
Once you eliminate that, you start brainwashing the new generation, and they know nothing about it. Before you said M was supposed to be a male, I had no idea. That's the power of media, right? In a way, right? And China has full control.
Yeah, China. 咁你而家睇下the religious studies in China， 即係你知 China 已經唔係好俾㗎啦，俾嘅話咧都係耶穌係唐人啦，like really， 或者起碼唔係唐人都着啲唐人衫啊咁樣，like
That's insane. That's insane.
That's all part of their brainwashing process.
你之前同我講，我講唔翻啊。嗰個其中一個 like story in the Bible.
Oh yeah， 就係話嗰個okay is in the original story from the Bible is that this woman was a whore.
Yeah.
And the public were about to stone her to death.
Yeah.
Like everybody, and then Jesus told the mob that before you condemn this woman, let me tell you this: whoever think that they are totally without sin can cast the first rock. And then everybody thought, yeah, oh okay, I did something bad, so I'm a sinner myself. So
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
and in the Chinese version, Jesus was the first one to cast the rock.
Because she's a whore.
Yeah, because she's a whore.
That's fucked up. Like 2000年嘅 history or like 2000年嘅 teachings, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not even religious and I could get something out of the original Bible's teachings.
Yeah.
Right? But the new ones, what the fuck? Jesus is going to stone her to death?
Yeah, I know. It's like
That's insane.
完全係they twist everything, and I don't know why they can tie in 好叻，即係唔係叻嘅 because they do it in such a clumsy way, like so everything in the Bible, like in the religious studies part, they can relate everything to 國家統一and
And
everything else
justify it.
and justify it like wow
That's crazy. That's crazy.
呢
And
啲又係真係完全係 this is so twisted。
咁喺中國裡面，即係唔計香港就更加慘啦，因為佢唔夠 media，like you can't even get out, right? The Australian, two Australian media journalists got out because they were being, I guess like they're getting attention from the government, so they had to get out, they had to peace out, otherwise they'd be in prison, right? Like our two Michaels, right? It's crazy. 喂 ，actually， 你知唔知道最近孟晚舟嚇？屌佢個名真係好撚難讀。屌 ，anyways，發生咩事啊？
佢個 case 係而家係 we're waiting for a hearing next I think February is the next time that she's。
因為最近2-3個禮拜，即係like we're talking about this， 但係我唔夠 facts 啊，我睇啲新聞都有好多 article about how 一個 RCMP 嘅 officer 本來係香港人嚟嘅，or I think so， 喺呢度做 RCMP， 佢係其中一個 arrest 孟晚舟 or one of
those people at the airport that like she met
that got 孟晚舟's information。之後依家佢唔喺 RCMP 度做啦，佢去咗澳門做一個high ranking 嘅 I guess like supervisor or whatever。咁佢就唔肯去 testify 嚇exactly 發生啲咩事 ，right？And then I just saw all these news about how the whole court ruling is kind of in favor to 孟晚舟 ，and that's kind of
OK 兩樣嘢。第一咧就OK 講起孟晚舟，我覺得我最近即係 about 呢樣嘢咧就第一個講嘢就係我突然間姓從嘅，you know 就加拿大大使，即係中國駐加拿大大使 the guy in Ottawa。Who you remember the guy that we looked at the video and he was shaking his hand like his hand was shaking while he was talking that guy 佢就講咗 he insisted on 孟晚舟's innocence and that the Canadian court should not you know the Canadians should not hold her firstly 孟晚舟係咪 innocent has nothing to do with Canada whatsoever the US are the ones the US Attorney General is the one who has something against her. So if you think you are so innocent, why the fuck don't you forget about the whole thing, go to court in the US and prove your innocence in the US court?
2年啫，咁
係啦。第二呢一排咧就多咗好。Okay, this has I don't know if this has anything to do with it.But since Biden's victory, or so-called victory, depending on how you look at it, 加拿大而家多咗好多 noise，就係話要 release 孟晚舟in the mainstream media 嚇，我唔係話即係嗰啲小粉紅嗰啲，for the sake of the two Michaels。咁
你覺得點啊？
我首先我會覺得第一。The two Michaels have to be freed, but has nothing to do with 孟晚舟。They are illegally detained, or if you have a case to detain them, if you have any proof, then it should have come out like a year ago or more.
No, let's be realistic though. 即係嗰兩個 Michael, they were arrested obviously because 孟晚舟 was arrested. So if she's not released.I don't think they're going to be released. And even if she's released, I can't guarantee that they will be released. So 加拿大應該做啲咩？你覺得？
我覺得首先咧就而家咧，我會覺得now this is regardless of whether we know that Trump is not going to be the next president come January。孟晚舟個detention 係已經 serve 咗一個 purpose 㗎啦。Firstly, the writing is on the wall. Huawei is not a company to be trusted. Huawei is state-run, and because of, or it may be because of it, maybe in additional to the fact that she was detained, that the Western world has almost destroyed Huawei. As 一間公司嚟講，nobody is buying their phones.
So 加拿大 kind of served its purpose.
即係已經係即係 detain 咗孟晚舟咧，已經係 serve 咗 purpose 㗎啦。Personally， 我會覺得，如果你話淨係問我自己，personally， 我會覺得你要既然有人話你做咗件唔應該做嘅事，which in the case was dealing with Iranian companies that defies then 佢係應該去美國，即係 to appear in a US federal court, US court, I don't know if it's federal, and to answer towards the charges.
Or at least go through the procedure of extradition.
係咯，
from 從加拿大去美國。
去美國係啦，去到美國 and then if you say you are innocent, then prove your case in the US court. And 即係呢個係一個公平嘅做法，但係 figuratively 但係 China keep 住咗 the two Michaels, and how are we we gotta get them back. I mean 即係we either gotta get them back or they deserve a lot more transparency. 冇人知道佢中國人 accuse 佢做錯咗啲乜嘢事。
Spying.
I know, but how and why and what did they spy on and who did they contact? Nothing came out. You just say they are spying. You can grab anyone off the street and say they are spying.
No, 佢哋 excuse 唔係話呢個係一個 internal affair， 你其他外國嘅國家唔應該牽涉佢哋嘅 internal affair 咁樣。
Well, still 咁你
it's always their excuse.
Whenever you accuse someone， 你都要知，即好似你孟晚舟咁，你而家大家都知道係告佢乜嘢噶嘛？佢做 what is the deed that got her into trouble? Her thing was because she allowed Huawei to lie to Hong Kong Bank about dealing with an Iranian company. That is fraud. That's how that's the reason behind her arrest. 咁佢幾時你唔使好 detail 啊，你淨係話即係你喺幾時至幾時泄露咗啲中國啲is it military, is it economic, is it and how did they do it？ 即係你俾少少，而家冇嘢，淨係即係 that's all they had, one word, spying.
They could literally make up any fucking excuse.
And yet they still don't, they are not even doing that. That's number one. Number two， 孟晚舟喺呢度。Other than wearing an anklet， 佢可以去飲茶，可以去食飯，即係佢唯一一個 restraint 就係9點鐘之前要翻到屋企，同埋要 wear 住即係 wear 孭住個 anklet。Other than that， she enjoys like 1,000 times more freedom, a million times more freedom than either one of the Michaels。
即係你咁樣講咁，我覺嘅，即係兩個 Michael 佢已經受咗好多 punishment， 即係
兩個 Michael， 連想見下一個加拿大政府嘅 representation 都有困難。Whereas 孟晚舟係即係周不時會同個乜嘢有 communication， 會去佢屋企談佢駐溫哥華大使、駐溫哥華領事，即係個已經係 unfair 到黐線㗎。咁所以have we done enough？ 即係有 to a certain extent， 孟晚舟已經你唔可以叫佢坐監嘅，但係and especially during COVID 個個都係咁啦，唔單止係佢都要 stay 喺屋企㗎啦。但係and instead of a fine, she got to spend if not $1 million, at least a few $100,000 because she's paying for her own security who watches over her。因為而家嗰啲
呢個唔係一個 punishment 嚟嘅，都係一個咁。
Well, it's kind of like a fine, right? To a certain point. And all that. So have we done enough? Or because we need our Michaels back 呢樣嘢係最乜嘢嘅
？Okay, I guess 因為我未聽過呢個 perspective， 但係 to weigh the kind of risk and reward, I guess to a point we've done enough。即係其實我 personally 我就想加拿大 stand like fucking
I know, I
strong，like
understand that, yeah.
Australia，right？因為佢哋最近話佢啲 winery 有好多困難。I went to buy like 3 bottles of Australian wine.
Yeah.
It's not a lot, but just to show some kind of like support, right?
Yeah.
So if they're suffering because of China, people will fucking support them.
Yep.
但係加拿大，fuck, I don't know.
而家係 because looking at it this way, there's 2 families. The families of the 2 Michaels, they're still missing them.
That's
their
true.
son.
That's totally true.
That's the whole
terrible.
thing.
Yeah.
即係呢樣嘢係 and 所以 I don't know. Or I would like every criminal from every country across the globe to answer for what they've done. 但係 in this case, like 我即係 I would. 如果你話兩年前 maybe like a year ago, a year and a half ago, I might not feel that way. But right now, at least I although I don't feel it, at least I wouldn't label Trudeau because theoretically 理論上係因為 Trudeau doesn't have a say in it. It's up to the courts, and the courts operate independent of the administration
But
of the
still,
government.
Trudeau 想講咩？Like he can still say it.
But 但係佢而家今時今日咧 ，Trudeau is in a 佢都仲係好乜嘢嘅。I don't know if he is doing it for PR. Or he's still standing pretty firm on the 慢慢啫。But I guess he has to because in Canada the number 1 rule is the government do not control the courts. 即係呢樣嘢係我唔知點解所有個中國人係唔明呢個 concept. The government doesn't control the courts. The courts is an independent system.
Good for him.
The law.
因為如果佢 side with China, what does that say about like future occurrences of similar kind
係咯，
of
即係 next
situation?
time 你同 China 有啲咩事嗰陣時，they grab another Canadian and this whole thing can happen again.
甚至乎你 like you don't even have to technically detain 孟晚舟. Like China could still do whatever the fuck they want.
係咯，it could be anything. Today it could be 孟晚舟.
Yeah.
Next time it could be the
Next time
importing and exporting pork.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It could be something as trivial as that.
No, as simple as send 一個 Twitter, right?
And
then 中國會 send 一個 like in some kind of retaliation, sanction 你 or whatever, like the NBA, which
Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn Magic, right?
No, Brooklyn Nets. Okay, Brooklyn Nets 就係我哋嗰陣時成扎 T 恤送過去喺個球場派就係 Brooklyn Nets。
幾時啊？
冇同你講嗰陣時。
冇喎。
Oh, we donated so that they actually 係做咗幾千件 T-shirt 去 Brooklyn 嗰個球場叫 Barclays Centre，有班手足喺嗰度門口派俾啲人咯。
你冇留一件俾我啊？
我哋冇㗎，一件都冇㗎，佢哋係全部係
即係你捐咗
係捐咗錢，and then 佢哋喺嗰邊喺球場門口派。俾入場睇波嘅人 ，and then the camera caught them on. Yeah. So we know nothing about the shirts， 即係唔係喺呢度做嘅，係喺嗰邊乜嘢嘅。
Oh, okay, yeah.
And okay, Brooklyn 就係啦。呢個 no, the guy who actually spoke out was Houston Rockets.
Yeah, Houston Rockets. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. 佢話 I support Hong Kong freedom 定係咩？喺 Twitter 度。
Yeah.
Right, but if you think about it， 所有中國境內嘅 like high level 嘅government official whatever they're called, right？ 佢哋有一個 Twitter account 咁 ，that's fucking crazy. It's banned in China, and they have a Twitter account. How fucking crazy is that？
咁睇下先啊，中國境內 high rank。Okay, first they obviously
一個男嘅一個女嘅，屌我真係唔記得佢嘅名。
OK， 男嘅咧之前叫
姓李嘅，
唔係女嘅就係華春瑩啦。男嘅最初係叫耿爽。
佢哋兩個都有 OK。
耿爽即係佢哋係外交部發言人。
之後咧
，spokesperson。It's
not him。
耿爽之後係叫趙立春。
姓趙 right？
趙立春。
佢有一個 Twitter post 係近呢2個星期激撚到 Australia 嘅Prime Minister， 就係佢 post 咗一幅相，
It's about the Australian army in Afghanistan, right?
Yeah，佢 post 咗一幅係 doctor 咗，即係 Photoshop 過嘅相，
係咯
，of 一個Australian soldier，佢
Yeah.
揸住把刀 hold 住一個 Afghan child，一個阿富汗嘅小朋友，即係 like cutting his throat, right? And I had a huge argument about that with my family. But anyways, it's very effective. 因為其實好多大陸人 I think 佢哋唔知道 Photoshop 係咩 ，like they thought that was real.
Yep.
That's fucking scary.
That was what prompted the Australian agricultural minister to say, okay, this is it. Well, I can't remember the exact words, but
that's just the political figure talking.
Yeah.
Like the aftermath of that.
No, the Australian agricultural minister just said, fuck it. Like, we want to sell our wines, but no, this is like we are a country, we have our integrity, we are separate sovereignty, we are not going to stand up for that.
Good for him. 但係
唔撚買就唔撚買㗎啦，你就算撚數啦。
中國人或者中國人即係出面其他國家嘅中國人見到呢個 Twitter post, like if they don't know what Photoshop is and they can't tell that's Photoshop, oh my fucking god! 即係 it labels Australia in such a negative
child killers and so on
and they can't tell it's photoshopped. They can't tell it's photoshopped.
Okay, 咁樣講啊 Victor, if the majority of the population in China
that's fucking
can
I know where this is going.
即係會如果識諗嘅話 China would not be the China we see today.
所以咪就係好恐怖
就係因為 China 10幾億人個 masses 係咁嘅心理係即係 OK， 我國家講啊，信㗎真㗎，一定係啊咁樣。即係 someone from 外交部講嘅 ，someone from an official
咁梗係真㗎啦，
一定真㗎啦。
佢呃我做咩啫？係咪 ？I think that's the mentality.
係咁，即係佢哋甚至有 it could be that or it could be， 佢哋講㗎，我唔可以壞假㗎，我壞假我仆街死嘅。
That's also true. That's also true.
即係一係就咁樣，一係就驚，一係就真係眯埋眼信。即係 either they truly believe or there are ones who might not believe, but they to serve their best interest, they choose to believe.
因為唔係淨係呢一樣嘢，中國其實做好多嘢，都唔係為咗所有中國人見到之後嚟 it'll be a propaganda for all of them. They just need to target a segment of them, right? They just need a separate propaganda for each segment. Then they got it. They got them all, right?
咁你睇下，即係 going back to the original argument， 咁六四冇死人都係咁講㗎啦，咁多年啦。即係 despite 即係 CNN 啊、BBC 啊，當時有人即係現場影到啊乜嘢啊，咁佢哋都係話即係冇事咁 ，and everybody choose to just forget about the whole thing。
所以咪就係我啱啱咪話 brainwashing 有幾恐怖 ，right？
It's like it works。恐怖就唔係 brainwashing， 唔知係 brainwashing 恐怖嘅就係 it fucking works。They can mesmerize or hypnotize 呢個10幾億人嗰度。That's what's the scary part of it。
就好似林鄭話呢個新嘅。
英國變種
英國變種 right? It works, right? That's the scary part, right? So in a way, I kind of want to segment to 我去 Europe 嘅 trip, right? 去意大利 It's actually not that scary. 你記唔記得我上一次咪話 like COVID, they should open things up, right? I kind of thought about it again during the week. 我覺得I kind of phrased it the wrong way. 我覺得because of COVID, restaurant you open up in this new fashion where you have screen protectors and things and like limit capacity. I think that works. If that works, then just open up. Let the restaurants do their thing.
Once 你做晒你應該做嘅 safeguard, then you should open up.
因為呢啲餐廳其實佢係要抌本落去買呢啲 equipment，去做 social distance，and they're taking a risk by opening up, paying their employees,
Yeah.
risking the fact that 有可能真係冇人會嚟幫襯㗎。
Yep. 係啊
Right?
and they still pay for their hydro,
Yeah.
they still pay their rent.
Yeah.
And if they want to stay in business,
Yeah.
then they should be encouraged.
And that's what I saw in Italy. 因為喺意大利，我係10月16號去嘅，right? 去咗2個星期，
Yep.
去咗德國，去咗意大利。It was so safe. Everyone in Italy was wearing a mask. It was so safe. 你去餐廳有 social distancing rule， 所有食完嘢嘅人 or like 啲 staff 會 sanitize 所有嘢。It's super clean. It was the best time to go travel. 因為我覺得你依家唔去 ，well not anymore。但係你之前，因為依家有 lockdown rule，right？但係你之前唔去歐洲嘅話咧 ，you're missing out。嗰陣我去咗2個星期，見到5個中國人，見到5個中國人。
哇！你2分鐘都見到啦，2分鐘都唔使添，真係20秒鐘都見到啦，真係即係 on a normal day。
On a normal day 去 Rome Colosseum 有幾多人頭 ？Like not even just Chinese, but like just tourists in general，有幾多人？依家 because of COVID, it sucks. COVID sucks, but it sucks for the business. It sucks for the economy. But for a tourist, it's fucking amazing. 好撚正，因為你去做所有嘢唔使排隊 ，right？ 你入到去你影相唔使淨係影，嚟唔使成幅相一半係人頭，
一半係其他人
，right？ 幾正啊 ，right？ 啲嘢冇平到啦 ，I should say，right？ 機票、酒店、食嘢冇平到 ，right？But just for the experience， 好安靜，好正，係。
Speaking of social distancing， 有個唔可以話笑話嘅，it's a real life observation。And it's not from me, it's from our friend 歐陽老鱷魚啊。佢啱翻咗香港。佢講真係好好笑，我聽到我都笑咗出嚟。就係佢翻香港啦，咁要 social distancing， 要咁因為你翻香港咧 ，accordingly 咧，你有3個唔同嘅 stage 咧係要排隊嘅。Like you have to hand in forms and shit like that. But anyway， 排隊係 supposedly social distancing。咁你同前面嗰個人同後面嗰個人要有2 meter distance。
That's common sense by now.
That's common sense 係，咁佢哋都做到，但係佢哋冇諗到咧，就係你知咩叫打蛇餅㗎？即係排咗一條龍咁樣，即係咁樣。
Oh my god！
但係你冇諗到隔離嗰個人冇同你6 feet different distance 㗎喎。
哦。
So you are 6 feet away from
the person you're
in front of you, and you're 6 feet from the person behind you, but you are shoulder to shoulder with the guy next to you.
佢哋嘅 argument 會唔會係你唞氣嘅時候淨係 front？
係你 front
嚇，即係你隔離嗰個唔會唞到你。
Really?
That's so stupid！ 即係佢依家已經翻咗去。
翻咗去，咁佢 post 咗出嚟，即係佢話，即係佢講翻晒佢成個 experience，就喺加拿大上機，仲喺香港，佢而家住緊喺酒店嗰啲 self isolation 嗰啲。But when he mentioned that, I was going like Jesus， 咁你 social distancing 有乜撚用？即係你同前面嗰個人咁樣，但係你隔離嗰個人 standing right next to you。
You know, in a way， 我嘅 idea 唔係就係咁咯，即係 like the rules that government makes。You like social distancing 又好 close down business 又好 in a way it really doesn't make sense.
No.
Some of them really doesn't make sense.
First of all, governments have no right closing down a private business. So they're not breaking the law, they're not doing anything unless they obviously you can give them guidelines or you can enforce those guidelines saying that you only have 40 people in your restaurant. You can't have any more than that. Or you have to have partitions. You can enforce those guidelines, but you have no right to just lock down and say you can't do business.
你可唔可以即刻 Google 㗎？California 嘅 governor 叫咩名 ？Newsom。Right? Do you know that guy?
I've heard of him lately.
So what happened was 佢前幾個禮拜呢個 Newsom 呢個 California 嘅 governor。佢就去咗一個 birthday party，right？It was indoors.
Gavin Newsom.
He went indoors into 一個好高級嘅法國餐廳。It was called something laundry, right? Anyways, it had 50 people. So obviously he broke some rules.
Yep.
Right? But佢係 California 嘅 governor. Right? He made the rules so that certain restaurants can't open up and certain people can't go out past a certain time or just ridiculous guidelines, right? 佢自己冇 follow. 佢自己 set 嘅 guideline. And then when the press took some pictures of him, 佢嘅 excuse 就係，oh we went there early， 即係我4點食飯同我6點食飯係對我哋會唔會 contract 到 COVID 係會有分別嘅。
即係 OK， 即係4點至5點咧 ，COVID 即係嗰個 virus 咧係會 take a break 嘅，嗰陣時係唔會 infect 人嘅，6點鐘先開工啦，咁樣我哋就 infect 人。
That's insane！ 咁佢 he fucked up。咁佢又要 make excuse， 咁依家有成80幾萬人係即係嚟
impeach 佢
，yeah exactly， 即係俾自己 signature 啊咁樣叫佢 resign 咁樣。Do you think that person should be in jail? He's a fucking governor.
I don't know. Okay, it depends on what kind of laws he broke.
He should resign for sure.
He should not be a leader of a state.
Yeah.
即係佢應該 because obviously you set rules and at some certain point you must have condemned people for breaking those rules and the next thing you know you fucking break them yourself then yes you have no right leading the state.
And like 你自己你開咗幾多人令到人哋開唔到自己嘅 business? There was a girl in Las Vegas, Los Angeles, somewhere. 佢開咗間餐廳 like she's a business owner, she's a restaurant owner. 咁因為 COVID 嘅 rule， 佢就開咗一個 patio. It's on YouTube. It was like
I saw that the one that you sent me. Yeah, the link that you sent me.
一個女人 right? She's crying because 佢使咗咁撚多錢去 create 呢個新嘅 outdoor patio. No one went there for dinner. 但係 across her restaurant, just like 10 feet away, 有一個 media crew 拍戲嘅 production crew. 佢哋有一個 outdoor like tents, just like they could have made it happen in a matter of hours, right? It was so low level, and 佢哋可以 like eat outdoors. That's insane. So why do you have these rules up? Like that's what I was trying to say when you should open things up. Not necessarily Vancouver. Vancouver, I think, is doing okay. Like in certain parts of the states, specifically California, New York, 呢兩個地方 where the leftists are just going nuts with the COVID rules. Like, how do any of these rules make sense? You force these rules on these restaurant owners. You make them create these. You make them spend. I don't know how much money, like tens of thousands of dollars, right? To make these outdoor patios. And then no one comes to eat, but right across your patio, there's a production crew having dinner at this outdoor tent, which they didn't spend any money on, right? 你已經嘥咗咁多錢 like you're betting probably all of your money. You probably had to take out a loan. Right, for most of these people.
因為你已經冇生意做㗎啦，本來即係已經咁多個月已經做唔到生意，已經乜嘢㗎啦，咁你即係
佢喺個 video 度喊撚到 right? It was
I saw
so
that.
heartbreaking. So that's what I was kind of trying to say in terms of like you should open up. Right? Just stop it. If the lockdown didn't work for 10 months,
it's not going to work now.
I doubt it's going to work now. Like even for Christmas, right? Like 我哋一定會 travel if we're not living with our family. We're going to travel. Like what's that going to do with COVID? Obviously, it's going to bring cases up, right? During Christmas, I think everyone's talking about it, right? So, what are these regulations still doing? Like gyms are closed. I think this is a new perspective, maybe even for you. Like gym 同埋 restaurant 係其中兩個地方係最多 COVID cases spike up 噶嘛。 as opposed to grocery stores or like clinics or places like that. But if you think about it, COVID, it hurts you if your immune system is bad. So you build up your immune system when you're working out, when you're exercising, when you're just like working out. So if you set rules in place for gyms to open up safely, kind of like restaurants did, why won't you let them open up?
OK 嗱咁樣講，我就會覺得咧whether it's gyms or whether it's people getting together, as Canadians, we have an issue with we are always very tolerant to people who break rules.
Tolerant.
我哋係好 tolerant 嘅。咁所以咧 ，yes，我會覺得 gyms 絕對冇問題啊！你 open up and you set rules with social distancing, with staff cleaning up equipment as soon as someone is finished with them，係會 safe 㗎。點解唔會啫？如果你有 enough social distancing，你有 enough 嘅 sanitation，you sanitize shit as soon as someone is finished with it。
我覺得可能對一啲普通人嚟講 ，this is not their mindset。佢哋覺得for example at a dinner conversation， 同屋企人就講起有一個 gym， right？ 有一個人去 dance group，right？ 之後染到 COVID，and then it spread to her whole class。之後 at the dinner conversation 就話有人就話。屌你呢個時候仲去跳舞有冇搞錯啊 ？Now I think there's two sides to this。你想 exercise 嘅話，你喺屋企其實可以 exercise。It's not as fun as it is with your peers or whatever with your friends. But then gyms of all places, that's where you're working out, building up your immune system, getting healthy. Right? Isn't that what it's about to be healthy, to build up immune system against this COVID? And then you're closing them down. It's so stigmatized for going to the gym to work out. In fact 我有去揾喺加拿大 or even cases in the States 有冇 study 就係話有幾多 case 係喺 restaurant 度發生，有幾多喺gym， 有幾多係 grocery， 有幾多係 religious gatherings， right? Clinics. So it appears that restaurant 同埋gyms are two of the major places.
Gyms 係咩？我成日會覺得咧 ，gyms OK 個 threat 係好大，但係 gyms 好慘 ，gyms 係一早已經俾人 close 㗎咯喎，即係 gyms 其實開咗 in the last year。真真正正開咗門嘅唔係太多時候啫。So I don't think that they should contribute to too many of the cases， 因為佢哋根本冇機會開，即係想 infect 人都唔得。
That's what I thought。咁我有去做呢個 research。I'm going against that study. So the study did say groceries are getting less cases than restaurants and gyms. Probably okay. Anyways, so it was a surprise。即係我覺得 restaurant 已經有咁多餐啦，有勁多 grocery store， 有勁多人可以入去一個 grocery store because of their capacity, right? So I would think groceries would be just as dangerous, if not more. Apparently, that's not the case. Still, I think you shouldn't be closing those places down, gyms, right?
Gym 我會覺得係唔應該閂嘅。如果你做好應該做嘅嘢，like you should enforce the rules a little better。And 我諗same thing 啦，一樣係，即係你要點講咧？你要 enforce 個 rule 咧，你就要 you have to punish the people who break the rules。And then that way 咧，應該 gym 係可以開嘅。Like I said，你有 enough partition， 你有 enough sanitization。You sanitize shit and you let people have enough separation from each other. I don't see how a gym is going to hurt that much.
I thought about that. 其實有啲難，因為你喺 grocery store 其實依家有好多 Walmart 啊，好多地方都已經係佢有一啲地下有啲 symbol 就係話 one way only 咁樣。
係啊。
Not many people follow that. Not many people are even aware of it.
Yep. 係啊。
Right?
即係你 supposedly 係咁樣，即係每個 aisle 係即係一個 direction。
So I don't know. I just think like gym 係一個地方 that should definitely stay open. Like if you want to work out and get healthy so that you can prevent yourself from getting COVID, like it should be open. Like you could argue that you could work out at a park or you could go running or you could work out at home, but 我覺得係
咁唔係嘅，你好難 invest in the same kind of
yeah
equipment，
有
the
啲
same level of
equipment 你
equipment。
喺屋企係真係買唔到㗎嘛。
係咯，有啲買唔到，有啲亦都 come on，你 gym 你求其，即係一個單車都乜嘢，即係 most people would not be able to afford that kind of equipment in their own homes。
會唔會 this is just speculation，但係會唔會係因為好多grocery store，尤其是大嘅 corporation，Walmart、Costco、TNT 呢啲 places，佢哋有 influence 就係話喂屌，除咗呢個係一個 essential 嘅 business，你唔可以 close 佢 down 喎。但係 gym 有好多係 privately owned，right？They're small businesses。
gym 最大問題係好多人唔當佢係 essential 咯。我 Steve Nash 都即刻執咗啦。即係而家係咩 ？But a lot of people don't think that they are that essential. I guess that's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's a problem. But 我即係覺得呢啲 rules government set 嘅 rule，it's not really scientific, is it?
It's not well, OK，我會覺得每一個 government 做嘅每一樣嘢都係有個 agenda 嘅，即係 there's an agenda they want to one of the things is because that's the one thing with democracy is 你個 career 係 based on how many votes you can get at the next election，所以即係有好多嘢係 they're doing it for the sake of 呢個 you can call it popularity，you can call it common acceptance，something in along those lines。
我話 government set 嘅 rule 唔係好 scientific 嘅 reason behind it 係你喺 grocery store 你可以 pick up 一樣嘢睇完唔中意擺翻落去，人哋再摸
and
then you'll get contracted。但係你喺 gym 度一樣 if you work out you don't clean the place， 人哋再上去 they'll get contracted。It's the same thing, right? So it's down to about the individual, how educated they are, how well
Back when
exercised。
they were open, when I used Steve Nash，我唔知其他人啦myself and everybody I see using the same kind of equipment, everybody was doing fine. Like 大家用完一個 equipment，let's say 大家會攞個 wipe 去大家抹翻先至。
你 before COVID 都會㗎
啦。係咯 ，that's way before COVID。
除咗
啲
仆街
好仆街嘅人。I mean for the past 2-3 years, I always see people doing that.
Yeah.
And that's nothing to do with COVID.
Forever, right?
Yeah, you sweat on a bicycle seat. You sweat on a piece of equipment. You wipe it down before the next person has to use it.
Yeah. So 我係覺得如果佢可以做好啲呢啲 precaution or set these rules within each institution， 話俾你聽 how to properly use the equipment or how to properly go to the grocery store. I don't know.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
the
how
restaurant.
different is it if someone get on a SkyTrain, sit on the seat,
and
get off, and then the next stop someone else, or even the rails that you hold, someone sit on it again. Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. So, anyways.
即係除非你話 workout 嗰陣時會有 heavy breathing，呢樣我就唔知 I have nothing to support or deny that fact。但係其他你話如果 if it's just about touching different surfaces，then it's not going to be too different from grocery shopping, from getting on the SkyTrain or anything.
Or how about like places in Florida？ 如果你去一個 public gathering like to a comedian stand-up show。你一定要 get COVID tested 先至可以入去。咁所有人喺嗰個I guess like performance 都已經 COVID test 過，then it's safe, right?
Yep.
Then do similar procedures if you want to open up. It might be really costly, especially for small businesses. That's just an idea, right? Something like that. Instead of closing things down, you can't let this performer go on. Things like that.
呢個咧 就有少少OK，it depends on 邊個做個 COVID testing。
Yeah.
嗱，如果你話嗱，即係好似香港而家都係㗎。
Yeah.
你香港好推actually 唔係香港好推大陸啊，應該好推一樣嘢叫健康碼。
Yeah.
A health code.
Yeah.
Like you have to be tested.
I'm fucking scared.
And if you have been tested and you are declared healthy, then you get a code and it's a barcode or something in your phone.
因為中國話，I'm fucking scared.
And you can go anywhere and they'll allow you in because you apparently had been tested. 但係 the other thing is 而家就係話你 get tested 呢個過程 and getting a code and having a code installed on your phone or something, then people will be able to trace you wherever you go. And that is 啲人點解咁抗拒即係香港人咁抗拒健康碼就係 together with the testing, they now also have a fair idea of 你嘅 whereabouts.
你喺邊？你嘅 probably
your habits, what you do.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. 即係你有啲即係如果遲啲係有啲地方你冇個 if you don't have a certain barcode in your phone or on something that you wear, then you can't get access to certain places.
佢中國 recently 直頭係 propose 俾全世界 create 一個 international 嘅 group kind of like WHO or whatever to create a universal barcode 俾所有人想 travel 嘅。如果係中國 develop 嘅，即係你一定要有呢個 barcode 你先至可以 travel and it's universally recognized。咁真係會好恐怖。I think a lot of countries are opposed to it, especially the States and Australia， 就係因為話會對 national security or like personal security 有 harm.
Yeah,
right? There's a lot of pushback.
Yeah, it's a big thing against privacy. 即係我去過邊度，我點解要俾咁多人知
？Especially 喺新疆，依家咪就係每一個 citizen 都有一個叫做 like they have a code for themselves about how well they are as a citizen. Like what's that called?
Social credit score.
Social credit score. 中文叫咩？
社會信用指數啊
，something like that, right?
Social credit index or social credit score
嘅意思就係你喺中國，like 全中國都流行噶嘛。
Yep, but it's going to be everywhere in China. Like you have to be in a certain category before your kids can go to certain schools or you can live in certain apartments and so on.
And it's ranked like A, B, C, D. A 就係最乖、最愛國嘅 citizen，right？ D 就係有少反叛 ，right？ Or something like that.
Oh, okay. It just reminds me of 我喺 Black Mirror 睇過有個 episode. Like they have a score. Like if you smile at people, then your score goes up. If you run into people, while you're in a hurry, they might give you a bad score, and then your score goes down.
That looks like, I don't want to say a futuristic China, but it's a more, I think China's version is even more scarier. How do I phrase
exactly,
this?
because in China, once it, like okay, in the movie, in that TV series, what happens is everybody can give everybody scores. Like is anybody you interact with, you can either give them a good score or a bad score. But imagine in China, if instead of everybody, only certain people, maybe only the category A's can give everybody else scores, or party officials can give everybody scores, then knowing China the way it is, chances are you can buy a good score. Right? I mean, that's China for you.
你 bring up 咗一個 good point， 但係我覺得如果你係可以即係每一個人都 rate 對方嘅話 ，that in a way is even more scarier because 你可以篤背脊 ，right?
Yeah, that's okay. 篤背脊 is China 嘅乜嘢嚟㗎啦 ？Yep.
有一個 benefit 就係如果我嚟 rat you out，right? I'll get a benefit or something, right？ 之前喺中國唔係有一個program 就係你喺 highway 如果可以 photograph 到人哋超速或者用一條 lane 係 suppose 唔俾揸嘅 lane 淨係俾 ambulance 或者 cop drive 嘅，你影到俾咗金融 official， 你會有一個 benefit like monetary reward。
咁中國好多時都係咁噶啦，即係篤灰係有着數噶嘛。即係永遠都係you get a monetary reward.
But it brought up a huge concern, which is like a lot of people who are driving are using their phones just to take pictures of these people.
OK， 首先咧你要明白呢個咧係 goes all the way back to 先唔好講 Chinese culture 啦，咁講翻 communist culture 啦。
Probably in human nature.
It might be human nature， 但係 Chinese 係好乜嘢㗎？係呢個即是篤灰係由文化大革命開始 because to save yourself you have to 即係有第二個人去乜嘢咧，咁你就可以冇事。
喂，睇下我幾緊警，我捉到呢條友。
係咯，或者即係你唔好講我嗱，佢都講即係it's just it is maybe human nature but it's nowhere else in the world that is being so encouraged.
Or maybe because the CCP encouraged it.
They encourage it so that they can have some idea of what everybody is doing. 因為你個個都肯篤嘅話，佢咪知道多啲嘢咯。
Or they encouraged it because they know the side of human nature that they could really pick on. Whereas 如果你係一個 democratic society 嘅話，你 focus on 一個 society where you can profit off of your effort, right? Of like just studying hard or like working hard, good ethics, good work ethics, then it'll pull out a different kind of societal behavior, right? So CCP did it a terrible way.
咁呢個我成個不嬲都係嘅。With a democracy, you bring out the best in people, but in the communist world, you just bring out the worst in people.
因為你有錢就可以bribe your way out. Use what's that word? Necrotism or whatever. Or it's kind of like Mulan. Like you're born in a good family or you're born with certain chi or certain martial arts and you'll get better in life. Whereas if you're starting from the bottom, you didn't have martial arts background or you weren't born with that gene, you can't get anywhere.
This is what China will eventually become with this social credit system. Because the A's will always be A's. And the D's will spend a lifetime just getting into being a C's. Or maybe the lucky ones can be a B. Like there is no way of the low rankings ever achieving a high rank. And sooner or later it will be a very polarized society where the A's are untouchables and then the rest of them are just wallowing in the lows.
因為好似你如果係 start out at B 嘅話，你做咗一啲錯嘅嘢，譬如你衝紅燈 or whatever. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with this rule. 但係 if you're caught, you'll be brought to your C level, right? And it will take you 3 years. You'll be monitored before you can get back to B. If you drop from C to D, then it will take you 10 years to get from D to C, and then another how many years to get to B, right? So, and the benefits of being at a higher rank is that, like you said, 你可以返好啲嘅學校，你可以住好啲嘅區, right? Things like that. So if you drop to a lower level, it's really fucking hard to get back up. And especially if the government wants to target you because of your race or because of whatever, if they are the ones that have the power to do whatever they want, they can target whoever they want, then that's fucking scary.
係好乜嘢呢個係 but I'm not surprised if that's the direction that China is going. I'm absolutely not surprised because right now it's just a matter of it's not making it so structured, but China has been like that for a long time already。即係你唔係嗰個 level，你就去唔到嗰個 level，做唔到嗰啲嘢。其實中國不嬲都係咁樣噶啦。But it's not in a very structural way like the way it's going to be。但係 so it comes as no surprise to me that it's happening in China。
So realistically，我覺得 in the future，如果呢個 program 更加 structured out 嘅話 ，people in the Western countries will see the best in China. Like 北京、上海 it will always be imaged as what
the poster boys,
yeah, the poster boys, the propaganda, right? The how Chinese are, right? But we'll never see what other parts of China is like because media can't get in and because those other parts of the country are always in such low ratings that China will never show them, like they'll never let them pop up.
呢個我又唔係咁擔心嘅，because I guess by now if you live in a democracy anywhere in the world, you will have to be pretty dumb not to be savvy, not to know the way China is being operated。即係你，
I would say a lot of people are pretty dumb。
幾多人會望見 China 望見即係好似佢成日影北京啊，好多老人家打緊太極啊，啲學生翻緊學，the usual shit that you don't know that there's a large part of China where people are starving or they have a problem keeping themselves warm。因為at least 呢樣嘢我都仲係信緊 Western world 嘅 media。Okay, they are fucking leftist, but when it comes to China, a lot of them is still they are still ready to report the truth. And it's like recently 我講開 China， 你知唔知而家 China 最大嘅 news 就係全中國都唔夠電啊！
Okay, 唔知。
Like there are blackouts in major cities, and I'm not talking about in a village somewhere. I'm talking about 廣州 and certain districts of 廣州。係啊，而家 China 呢個冬天係突然之間有好大嘅 issue，冇人知點解，即係冇一個，因為冇一個 official 嘅 explanation，甚至無啲即係外國啲 Chinese experts 都唔知，就係喺啲。廣州係唯一一個一線城市啦，即係 out of 你講如果北京、上海下個就廣州啦。廣州係最大一個城市係出問題嘅。另外另外有啲2線、3線城市，好似湖南、長沙嗰啲已經有㗎啦。
因為咩？
冇人知，唔係冇人知，係冇一個 confirmation， 好多 there's a lot of 即係有人就話
中國咩都冇 confirmation 㗎。
有人就話因為係。同澳洲個 relationship break up 咗。
點解咧？
咁因為澳洲 import 好多 coal 噶嘛。
OK。
亦都有人話係因為而家經濟好咗啦，啲廠啲 manufacturing 用好多電，咁所以咧用咁多電嘅話咧，你就會即係用到即係 brown out 咗成個 area。咁又有佢，但係佢真係好得人驚，佢真係成個區 like in 廣州 in one of the more 多啲人住，即係 it's a very 繁榮 it's a the neighborhood 係 blackout 連街燈都冇埋。
咁政府做啲咩？
原本冇做，政府淨係話呢個我哋供電嘅呢個器材有故障，it's going to be back in normal。
That's what I'm talking about。即係你喺一個 more developed country or civilized country。係唔會發生呢啲嘢噶嘛？Like if there's a
我喺加拿大幾時試過停電啊？真係冇噶嘛。Other than windstorms 嗰陣時吹冧咗啲電線，because我哋啲電線。Other than that， 我哋即係有幾可試過話真係停電。And we are talking about nationwide， 全個 China 有人話即係依家呢個 news 係幾大嘅。有啲人咧住大廈30幾層，你要行樓梯，因為冇電梯。And 我喺度諗緊，哇！如果喺我屋企做緊dialysis洗緊腎嘅話，仆街你冇電嘅話，你真係死得人嘅喎。即係 and a lot of this stuff。咁就有好多唔同嘅講法啦。即係有人話係咯，有人就話因為 China 嘅電咧好多咧係 comes from Russia 玩嘢。但係 either way 咩講法都好， 電係 essential 嘅，electricity is essential to 2020呢個而家呢個世界嘅話，一個國家係應該有 planning。如果你話 OK 嗰一排，因為你好多 industry 要趕工要做乜嘢嘅話，
因為 natural disaster or whatever，you
should be planned for it， 即係唔應該會發生。So there something is happening。I don't know what maybe China 而家突然之間哇佢哋如果話賣到成 like a high percentage of the cars sold are electric cars，I don't know if that has anything to do with it。or anything
應該唔會咁誇張啊個 numbers 應該唔會影響到。
I don't know， 我成日覺得係即係 China 係好撚簡單嘅啲人，即係有啲 consumer 又好啲咩又好，即係佢哋會覺得係有啲嘢咧係會即係佢哋 still believe in 有啲嘢係會一用咗佢係着數晒 ，like there's no downside to things。即係但係 when you look at things logically。There's always an upside and a downside to certain things。係啊，你電車係唔使入電油嘅，so 成個國家 the reliance on fossil fuels is a little less。但係如果個撚個都攞架車去充電嘅話，咁點咧？真係個 grid 會冇電喎。
Or also 你去製造一個電車，你要
製造電車就唔使講啦。I've always been saying that 佢個 impact on 個 environment 係唔差得過一架用 gasoline 嘅車嘅。
你 gasoline 嘅車你嘅 CO2 emission 一係差嘅，但係你去做一個電車嘅 battery，you use the same kind of
It's a very
damage to
rare
the environment.
chemical that a rare element
Mineral.
mineral that only comes from certain parts in Africa.
And you use child well I won't say child labor but like there's child labor involved. There's forced labor.
And also 你要一架車，即要一個電池係 power 一架車。你諗下，我哋以前用手提電話，而家就話即係 inside the phone， 但係以前唔係嗰陣時，一個咁嘅電話都咁大個 battery 啦，咁大架車個 battery 幾大？800磅、1000磅。
對嗰啲
嗰啲嘢用完之後 ，OK，battery are going to die。Batteries always die eventually。即係會用到 is rechargeable，but after a certain number of years it's useless. It's just a block. 咁how do you get rid of it? Because it's not biodegradable. It's not decomposable. So 你又製造一個係乜嘢都做唔到嘅垃圾喺度。So 即係首先即係電車嘅嘢咧，我唔係好 buy 呢個 concept 嘅。Partly maybe because I work for a company that doesn't make them。但係即係 at least doesn't market them in North America。But still, I think 係個 impact 係太大。And on a human side， 全美國嘅 working population over 5% 係全美國嘅 working population over 5% 係 involved in 個 oil industry 嘅。
And how many more are trickled down like affected
by？Yeah，and 你就算 5%，呢個 looking at 佢哋嗰陣時話過係 about 10 million people。
只要你唔好話我嘅 industry directly affected by oil and gas 啊，我翻我自己公司，雖然我公司同 oil and gas 完全冇關，我都要揸車翻工㗎。
Imagine 呢10 million people 佢哋個 family， 因為個個用晒電 the demand on oil is less. Let's say if 30% of them lose their job, that's 3 million people and 3 million families who lost an income。所以即係the reliance on electric cars now at least now is not the time。
咁中國嘅 counter argument 就係你買電車嘅話，我會俾supplement 俾你，我會俾錢你。
嗱，電車咧另外一樣嘢咧就係好多人都話電車 is affordable。但係電車係貴撚到咧，根本上 is not affordable。即係如果一個係講緊加拿大先算啦，一個 small family。兩公婆都係打緊工嘅，唔係咩老闆嘅。你要買架平車嘅話 ，you're not going to touch an electric car。你都係買翻用 gasoline 嘅，即係可能亞洲生產啊咩平平地嘅，即係啲 Honda、Toyota 嗰啲咁嘅車㗎啦。你一要到電車咧就好 Q 貴㗎啦 ，because 因為頭先講過啦，你要用嗰啲 minerals 啊，你要用嗰啲 materials 係有 limit to 有幾多㗎嘛？呢個地球上你 it's not an unlimited supply of those minerals。咁你 只會越嚟越炒越貴㗎嘛，because everybody is trying to make electric cars, everybody is trying to make batteries, so that kind of the supply of that is going to dry up sooner or later, and the cost of it and acquiring that is going to go up.
甚至乎你 lower the selling cost 嘅時候，你個 production cost 咪要更加減低咯。So it affects the African countries where you're mining these minerals。
係啊，你講乜嘢？
community right 嗰啲人係真係要一個 family 派啲仔女落去掘嗰啲 mineral right in these terrible
Obviously, it's not going to be a very good scenario looking at how these things are being mined. 咁所以
keep in mind 呢個 industry 係幾年前先開始嚟 really boom，so 佢哋仲未有好多大嘅mining 嚟 machines 去做，好多都係人手去掘呢啲嘢 right? A lot of communities depend on it right? So it's going to be a never-ending cycle. Like these communities will never get better.
And 即係電啫 ，once again 我永遠都係 it's a what's her name again? Is it Greta Thunberg? Yeah, Greta Thunberg 即係好 Q 左膠嘅嘢係即係 oh how dare you 即係 damage 我哋個 environment。
佢個 propaganda tool 咯。
That's definitely propaganda，因為你。第一 is not really even that good for the propaganda for the environment. And look at it this way: a few years back, 有個 manufacturer Volvo 話 oh by 2020 we are producing nothing but electric cars. No, they are not doing it. And you know they can't do it. 即係 it's I mean maybe sooner or later someone can think of a good way of making electric cars from 一個and with batteries that's being powered by materials that is more accessible, but right now
solar powered.
I'm getting into that actually. 但係我唔會覺得電車係咁it's not going to be a really very logical alternative to fossil fuel cars.
They come from a good heart.
Yeah,
I'll give them that, and I also believe in like.
In the long run, it's got to have you have to work because there's only so much resources, so much fossil fuels.
但係你就好似 create 呢個 vaccine 咁樣 ，once you hasten the process by so much, there's going to be side effects that you haven't accounted for.
OK， 講起，因為你頭先 bring up 咗 solar power，there's another thing I want to add to 中國冇電嗰個。其實中國冇電咧，之前已經有一個你睇得出嘅有啲嘢，就係中國我諗你好耐冇去過中國啦，其實我自己都好耐冇去咗中國，但係我即係有陣時睇嗰啲戲有咩咧？中國而家好流行一樣嘢咧，就係用 solar power。OK。點樣用咧？
喺啲戲裡面？
唔係喺戲裡面，but in general 喺中國係 OK。So you can see it from sceneries in the dramatic productions。就喺個天棚嗰度咧，擺啲 solar power 嗰啲 solar panels，and that would collect light and get you a little bit of energy. And I think 咁你老實講，你話俾啲中國人注意環保，你話打死都唔 Q 信㗎啦。
一定係
因為係有錢嘅啫。I think 係即係亦都係因為有個 necessity 係用 fossil fuels 嚟generate power。係真係唔夠。
Government 係利用佢做一個 propaganda tool， 做一個 poster。
唔係㗎，係真係揾到錢㗎。
Sure。
即係我諗唔係 propaganda， 唔係 firstly I don't think it's anything to do with the environment。喂，而家去到香港啦，即係而家香港好多大廈都係 encourage 人喺個天棚度做自己個 solar panel。Really？OK。但係香港就已經有好多人話你都黐 Q 線，因為香港會打風㗎嘛。你打風你嗰啲 solar panel 好鬼危險，你吹一兩個落嚟嘅話會掟死人 and it cause a lot of damage。即係香港大風就唔係嘢少㗎嘛 ，like 10號風球嗰啲，it's very strong winds。人你嗰個 structure 如果做得差啲嘅話都乜嘢，但係而家有幾間大陸公司落咗香港，就啲乜嘢咧？啲電力公司咧亦都係話會，即係如果你間大廈自己可以 generate 到 power，and somehow they have a way of selling that power back to the electric company，and they will pay for it。 你將嗰啲 power 用咗落去你自己嘅，咁你用少啲電，and then there's an incentive for that。So it all boils down to 就係咪真係成個中國香港都唔夠電呢？So they are because I truly don't believe that 中國人又好甚至乎香港人又好 in a way 係會 go through all that trouble for the sake of environment。我真係唔覺得會。And 我諗佢哋即係 it's a true necessity to squeeze 即係 every little bit of power that they can get their hands on。
佢哋依家 fossil fuel 係 like where is it coming from mostly？
最多係兩樣嘢啦，煤就係呢個they get it all over from 即係自己嗱，其實 natural power 呢個 fossil fuels 咧，就每一樣嘢咧佢都有 production 嘅，但係唔夠，因為中國咁大咁多人，like they have coal production。But they also import coal from Australia。即係 coal 好多地方都有，但 Australia 比較近啲啦。And they import natural gas, a small amount of that from Russia。
喂 ，Russia 會唔會
？And they import oil from Iran, among other places. That's why they're always pretty friendly with the Iranians。Russia
近呢幾年咧，好似 I don't know, I get this feeling that 佢哋係想玩嘢，like they're not siding with US, they're not siding with China either.
Well, Russia 咧，我個人嘅覺得咧，就係而家佢會 they enjoy their role, they enjoy the role or the non-role that they have to play
Honestly,
because
it's a non-role more.
Because the Chinese are now in the headlines。即係 since Trump， 即係咁你即係個咩都針對晒。As the villain, so the Russians can play a non-role really。即係佢哋唔係 they don't attract a lot of attention。
佢肯咩 ？For how long？ 因為 Putin 佢 in a way am I wrong？ 佢有啲似 Trump 係有一個 ego 嘅，佢係想like not just make Russia better or whatever. He wants to take over the world. Essentially,
Putin 有 ego 係肯定嘅。And 我到而家都覺得咧，習近平係 model himself after Putin 嘅。The fact that Putin made himself
indefinite leader.
Yeah, exactly. And 習近平咧，佢係 model 佢自己個 career 咧係 after Putin 嘅。但係我諗 nobody wants to go head to head with Trump, or nobody with half a brain wants to go head to head with Trump。And 係中國人咁戇鳩，即係會同佢 butt heads 嘅啫。
去 push 自己嘅 propaganda。
即係要同 Trump 搞到咁樣。So I don't know. It will be interesting to see how Putin and how the Russians behave with Biden around。
其實奧巴馬喺度嘅時候咧，中國Global Times post 嘅嘢，我哋嘅 media 好似冇咁 focus on 中國 like Global Times 講嘢，係近呢幾年。Right？
唔係嘅。嗱 ，firstly two things. Firstly, Global Times obviously 不嬲都係幫 CCP 出聲啦，呢個係梗㗎啦。咁就我以前咧就有I was on this app called 微博 which is like China's answer to Twitter。Right？ And 咁就即係睇到 Global Times 啲咁黑嘅，
可能就快冇電。
咁我哋就睇到 Global Times 嘅，即係我會睇到 Global Times 嘅 ，and then 有啲人會講佢唔啱嘅。So that's how I know about Global Times. It's dating going way back to
即係嗰陣未有
Olympics 前後嗰陣時啦，08年奧運07、08都有㗎。That's why they closed my account. Like 俾人哋即係炒起咗 ，close 咗2次添啊。咁就 because I was quote unquote inciting people。And 咁就係呢個係啦，過咗 Olympic 少少啦，10年到啦。咁但係冇錯 ，Global Times got themselves into the public eye at a later stage。但係而家就更加多啦，因為咁亦都因為佢越嚟越誇張，或者 they deviate from the truth too much。即係你講到啲嘢係黐撚線嘅，咁人哋會覺得你傻嘅咯。
我就係 wondering， 奧巴馬做 president 嘅時候，我哋嘅 media 好似冇咁 focus Global Times，但係 Trump 做 president 嘅時候，我哋好多時都見到China says this, China says that, and they're quoting from Global Times, right? And then we see a lot of the kind of like propaganda or like tricks that China's trying to play.
I guess how the president or the government stand also plays a part.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like Obama was
maybe in a way, all the media is kind of like playing into their own propaganda.
Yeah.
去image 去 say that like 因為 Trump 係總統，佢令到 China 幾嬲 or whatever, right? And there's this huge conflict.
So 大家即係不停咁講你 what he said she said kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas Obama 嗰陣時the relationship was pretty amicable. 即係奧巴馬又去 China，又去同啲大學生又有 interaction 啊咁樣。
即係 Global Times 點寫都唔會寫到。
大家係啦 ，Global Times 唔會寫到乜嘢嘛，但係而家 Global Times 唔係噶嘛，即係你 anything that's coming from the White House，coming from the Australian government，佢都即係狂屌噶嘛，咁你唔同晒咯啲嘢。
唉，咁21年就快到啦。咁
我相信我哋 OK 嗱，今日20號。